Hey everyone, it's Christine here. Welcome back to my channel. It is really good to be back in this space. I know it's been a while. I took a much needed break. More on that later. So the focus of this video is what you need to know for the next 3 months. A little bit late than never. This is touching upon the fall equinox we had on October 23rd, where we had equal parts of day and night. And we are shifting now into darkness, the dark of the darkness. And so with this fall season comes the, reaping of the seeds we planted or sowed back in the springtime. Manifestations are becoming more attuned, more refined, and you may start seeing some of these things pop up. Also, you may be feeling an overall sense of releasing, and a lot of things are coming to a culminating point of ending. More on that with other videos. So let's dive in. We are going to take a look for each sign. Timestamps are below. I suggest that you look at your personal planets. In particular, I'll say the sun, moon, and then rising point, which obviously is not a planet. And feel free to confer with any other sign that you feel intuitively guided. Again, always trust yourself, your intuition. Practice discernment with any reading, and always use these tools, these modalities, readings, oracles, etc. as a way to empower yourself. Do not get yourself sucked into those holes, like the black holes, okay? Let's get started. Hi, my Tauruses. Welcome to your reading. We are going to take a look at what you need to know for the next 3 months, what's coming, what you need to know, let go, and any advice from Spirit. I have a slew of really amazing oracles. I can't wait to use them. They're new. So grab yourself a drink, settle in, set an intention, and let's begin. What do my Tauruses need to know and be aware of for the next 3 months, please? October, November, December of 2023. What messages does the universe have for my Tauruses? We've got 2 cards. We've got 4 of Pentacles, which is Earth energy, and we've got 2 of Pentacles, more Earth. There's a recalibration, a rebalancing, I feel, of your foundation for many of you. It could be your inner foundation, also reflected in your outer reality. So many of you can, in the coming months, be really assessing each part of your life, particularly where you live, your residency, your home, the type of home you live in, where you live, and with whom, how much you're paying in rent or mortgage or any of that. With your budget, I feel a decision is coming where some of you are going to be changing homes, changing the way that you are doing things in your home, perhaps the way that your household is run, the way that you are approaching your home as a leader, if you are the only person living in it, or if you're part of a family unit and you're the one in charge, if you will. But there's a change coming here. Some of you are also, I heard pocketing, not pickpocketing, saving. So some of you, I feel, are revisiting, perhaps especially with the Venus retrograde we had over the summer, which Venus went direct. Quite recently, it really affected those that have their lordship in Venus, so Taurus and Libra in particular. So some of you are going to be re-examining your purse. In other words, really re-examining your costs, your budget, your finances, where it's going to, what you need to change, what you want to bring in. It's like pressing the reset button and allowing yourself to think, what is it that I need to change in these areas? So we have foundation, we have budget. I also feel here an energy too of anything that's no longer worth your time and your energy. You're letting go. I keep seeing like a button where you press something and it releases down. I don't know if it's like one of those coffee machines where the coffee thing releases. There's something that's being released. So I feel like some of you in the coming months, anything that has caused you or is causing you any sort of imbalance, particularly in your material world, you're letting go of that, you're closing the door, you're moving on. And this could be a habit too, because some of you may, in reviewing your finances and also things having to do with your home, there could be some type of disequilibrium. You're looking for balance. And I feel like there's more than one decision that is going to be coming in this time frame that's really going to highlight for you changes that you can no longer put aside, changes that you have to address. Perhaps these were long-standing issues that were kind of murmuring in the background, and now it's now or never. Because you see here with the Four of Pentacles, there's a guardedness. I feel too this could really have something to do with your value and your worth. Some of you have really shifted the things that you once valued or did not, and vice versa. And many of you have shifted in your belief systems as well. There seems to be a complete overhaul. It's like mind with matter, with the material world. It's ironic you guys got so much earth energy so far, because you all as Taurus, as Tauruses, groundedness, stability, endurance, those are some of your strong suits and things that many of you really want in all areas of your life, but particularly with your stability, with your emotional foundation, with your relationships. So this time period is calling for you to revisit these areas of your life, and anything that's wobbly. Think about furniture when you set up like a chair or a little table and you see a leg that doesn't reach the floor. It's not completely flush against the floor, right? And it's stable and you see it and it wobbles. That's the energy I'm picking up here. Anything that's off kilter, that doesn't feel good, that's literally causing any type of or any sort of imbalance in your life, you're like, okay, we got to telescope in, microscope in, figure out what's causing the problem, what it is, and either change it and address it or let it go. This is about building momentum, building stability on top of a stable foundation moving forward. For some of you, it's going to be an emotional type of foundation up here where you're cleaning out mindset and beliefs, and you're really honing in on why did things happen the way they did in this relationship. I'm getting relationship energy for some of you. Some of you have ended recently long-term relationships. These could be platonic and also romantic. And many of you may be starting anew, starting from scratch in the next 3 months. It's almost like, again, I keep getting reset with you. You've hit the reset and you're like, this is a fresh, blank new page in my storybook. How am I going to write this? Let's see what else. And we have a lot of red here. So again, to me, this speaks of it's root chakra energy. So it's about your foundation, your beliefs, security. A lot of red here. Some of you may be shifting jobs as well. Again, when you reassess your finances or some sort of changes occur in your stability, especially if there's a change in relationship, or you move out, or something ends and you no longer have 2 incomes, or whatever the case is. In those types of situations, something changes where it causes you and prompts you to ask yourself, okay, we need to reflect, reassess, and now draw some type of map towards where we're heading. And that's exactly the energy I'm feeling here. I just feel a resoluteness here. Many of you are turning your back to the past, turning your back to anything where you're like, nope, doors closed. I'm not dealing with shit anymore. I'm not dealing with disempowering, unbalanced relationships. I got a ton of Libra energy here. Again, you guys are ruled by Venus, but it exemplifies and plays out in a different way for you all because of the earth energy versus air. So some of you may have strong, prominent placements in Libra as well, or may have been dealing with the Libra, or you may have, depending on how you're viewing this, prominent signs as well for yourself. Massive focus on balancing out. What other messages does the universe have for my Tauruses, please? What else do they need to know? Got one card. 4 of Wands, fire energy, Aries, Leo, Sag. You know, when they say, what's that motto? Work hard, play later, or something like that. This is exactly what's happening in the next 3 months. Many of you are going to be getting down and dirty with your own stability, with your own foundation, and filling in the holes. In other words, really looking at anything that's draining your energy, that's causing instability. Again, I don't want to rehash what I said earlier, because I feel like once you do that, you're going to feel an uplifting kind of cleansing energy. You know when you clean your house and you just feel good, you sit in it and you marinate, you're on the couch and you smell and you're like, everything smells good, it smells fresh, I feel good, threw away the trash, I cleaned up, I did the laundry, I donated stuff, and you just feel so good. This is the energy that I'm getting. And again, remember, timelines are different. I'm not going to say this is like the next 3 months and this is the end. It can happen in various ways for everyone. So really take note of that. I feel like the moment that you get clear about what needs to clean out or leave from your life in order to reach that equilibrium is the moment you're going to feel a sense of freedom, a sense of celebration, a sense of success. There's going to be a light energy around this. It's changing and shifting your energy big time. A lot of you are or have been dealing with stagnant energies. So again, I'm sensing cleanup with relationship endings, breakups, and job changes and security around those two areas in particular. Some of you are going to be focused on really tapping into having fun, because with this energy, we get a lot of seriousness. Do you see that? Some worry, some anxiety. Some of you may be feeling uncertain about where your path is going. You're like, oh, summer was great, didn't turn out that well with what I thought. Maybe some of you started a job and then ended it just as fast. Same thing with relationships, and some of you ended relationships that were long standing, because I'm seeing like a fissure, like a crack when there's an earthquake, and these were long standing. We also see the desert. So some of you had relationships that were overdue to be broken up. I don't know if I said that right. I hope you got what I was saying. So there's a sense of elation, a sense of freedom coming. And again, you're going from seriousness, almost like a Saturnian vibe of, okay, we got to get to work and hunker down, to a more free-spirited, maybe Jupiterian vibe. The playful Jupiterian side, where you're wanting to experience exuberance, abundance, joy, happiness, inner child energy too. So there's a shift coming with your energy. As soon as you clear out and cleanse this area, you're going to feel this pretty quickly. Okay. Let's take a look at some oracle cards. I have quite a few. So this is the Sacred Traveler Oracle. We are going to see, because I really like to tap into the soul journeys, into the energies for everyone about their soul journeys, to see what you need to know over the next 3 months. Okay. What do my Tauruses need to know, please? What other messages does the universe have for them? Ooh. Felt a flipper. We got one. Look at this. Watching clouds, lie back, rest, and relax. Look at this. To me, this extends and comports to this energy. Four of Wands. There's a sense of freedom. You know when you're, that song, sitting on the dock of the bay? I'm not even in tune with that song. I think is it Johnny Nash? Or Otis Redding. Sitting on the dock of the bay, wasting time. I'm not gonna even sing it, but I will see if I can link the song. Let me jot it down for you. And I would listen to the lyrics, because there's something here about this energy where after this upheaval of changes, cleaning up essentially, and really getting clear what you're ready to let go of and what you're ready to move forward. Because a lot of transformation and shifting belief systems have caused you to really reassess. Do I want to stay or go? And many of you are going. There's going to be an energy of lightness. It's interesting because you all rule during the sign of spring. So we have the utmost light, and now we're getting a lot of darkness. And I'm getting this spring energy with you all in this time period. So it's almost like your seasons may have flipped. Some of you may have endured this type of energy beforehand. I could be picking up on past energy, but especially it could have culminated. It could have finally come to a point of conclusion just recently, because I'm tapping into energies from September onward. And so there's a sense of, wow, we did the work. Almost after you've moved and you've unpacked and you know, either donated or thrown away the boxes. You're like, let's get a great meal and just relax, and you put your feet up. This is the energy. Everything from this point, and it could have been earlier this year or even prior, you're seeing a conclusion coming, and you're seeing the light at the end of the tunnel, literally. See a lot of light here, a lot of resting. There's a sense of gratification, a sense of, you know what? Things are going to be okay. I'm going to have the opportunity to relax and to really feel into this new change, into this new identity, into this new structure that I am creating or have created. It's really, I'm getting like a sweeping energy. When you're in a clear glass elevator and you're looking out, I've seen some elevators like that at shopping malls, and you can see everything below you. There's a sense of just wonderment, curiosity. The next oracle deck I'm using is the Awakened Soul. It's a cute little deck. Oop, I think I'm moving the camera. We're gonna see what other messages the universe has for you. For some of you, this is also a call to redefine your values and to take a look again to see if what you're doing actually aligns to them. Because I keep hearing that song, sitting on the dock of the bay, wasting time. So some of you may perceive rest and taking care of yourself, which is very broad because self-care is very multidimensional. That could be, you know, therapy, inner work, all the way to pedicures. There's so many different layers, it's varied. But some of you may feel like just resting and doing something for yourself when you're like, nope, there's so much to be done. You may feel like it's wasteful or inefficient. And ironically, what I'm hearing is the more you delve into the practices that bring you this type of energy of joy, rest, things that you really just lose yourself in, the more enriching your life will be. You're going to attract. It's like wearing an attractive cologne or perfume. The universe is guiding you towards that energy. These are going to be long, I can already tell. Okay, what other messages does the universe have for my Tauruses, please? Okay, we got two. We got action. And then we got unplug. I kid you not. Look at this. Hold on. Let me hold it here. Unplug. I wish there was like an anti-glare thingy. Like a little flag I could have. Hold on. Look at this. I feel like you're being called, because Four of Wands is action, but you're being called to, for lack of a better term, get your shit together and straighten up anything that you need to clean out, anything that you need to make a decision on. Doesn't mean to make a hasty decision. Always trust yourself and your intuition, no matter what anyone tells you, myself included. But once you get this, we'll call it foundational stuff in order, take action towards things that rejuvenate you, that really enrich and feel good to your soul. You've got a lot of cards pointing to that. Some of you need to get out in nature, literally unplug from your phone, from technology, softwares, computer, any electrical gadgets, anything that needs a battery or a plug, disconnect. And I'm not talking about medical devices. Some of you are sarcastic. If you have any medical like implants, that doesn't apply. Do not disconnect yourself. It's important to restore yourself. Part of restoring your foundation and getting that equilibrium, that sense of stability that you want, is going to be found outside of technology and your phone in the digital world. It's going to be found in nature. So it's about going back to simple things, going back to simplicity. There's a sense of slowness here. Do you see all these cards? I didn't even think about it. We're going into fall, and I have some fall oracles I'm going to be showing you guys and using. But there's a lot of summery spring energy. So there's a sense of lightness coming. So if any of you have been experiencing a lot of heaviness around you, and it's been a tough cycle, I would say, especially this summer or winter, wherever you are in the world, there's a lightening up here of energy. You're being asked to let go. This person is wearing a dress and there's mountains in the back. A lot of red. You see the structures? Some of you have overcome a shitload of challenges. And you're reaching the pinnacle of this, where you're going to be able to see from the top, like, wow, I made it. I can see where I'm heading. Or you're getting some type of clarity, but there's a sense of losing layers. So again, this denotes to cleaning up your energy, cleaning up anything that you do not want to take forward. We also have here action. Again, we got more nature here. To me, this exemplifies taking action towards rest, taking action towards nurturing yourself, taking action to be more intentional with how you want to feel. If it's feeling, you know, good, which is really broad, feeling restful, feeling rejuvenated, feeling inspired. Tap back into different ways that you can feel that. For some of you, you have been disengaged from any type of taking care of yourself. So self-care, nurturing, like honoring your needs. I was gonna say in lieu of, but this is because you put your attention towards relationships and work. And there's a sense of that being tied to your home, to your stability. So some of you, there's like a newfound freedom here. I wanted to say Artemis, but no, I get Athena energy here. The warrioress. Is that it? Warriorness or warrioress? She's a warrior. Regardless of gender, there's a sense of freedom that I'm feeling here. And look, we have the bow and arrow. I always think of Sagittarius energy, but Sagittarius is traditionally ruled by Jupiter. So again, there's a sense of freedom, of breaking free from restrictions, breaking free from perhaps the life that you thought you knew, perhaps the life that you envisioned, perhaps I heard dreams, and it's time to create new ones. There's a sense of restrictions coming out for you. I'm using the Seasons of the Witch Mabon Oracle. I think this is a new one that just came out and I ordered it. The cards are actually beautiful. Look at them. Let me see what else you need to know. Many of you are up-leveling internally, where you're breaking free of self-limiting beliefs, and those were the structures, the sutures, the stitches, if you will, that held together the previous life you had. That's what's coming here. So there's an unraveling here. What other messages does the universe have, please, for my Tauruses? Oh, crap. We got 3 cards. Maybe I think you guys are going to be the only sign where I'm allowing them to fall. I'm going to have to choose because they're getting lengthy. We have Cacao, 5. You are loved, you are held, and you already are everything you seek. And there's an owl here. Look at this. So Cacao is a heart opener. It's a beautiful way to implement, that's the word I'm looking for, to implement into your routines, to work with this type of medicine, to nurture yourself, to nourish yourself. Because we see cacao, spirit medicine, we see mugs, and we see 2 apples and foxes. Some of you may resonate with the fox owls. But again, there's a message here strongly speaking about nurturing your heart, nurturing that inner child spirit of yours, being able to take care of yourself, to love yourself. And Taurus's sensual embodiment, romance, luxury, however you define it, things that make you feel good, your senses, the material world are strongly connected to all of you, to you all. And so there's also a need to bring that back on a deeper level. Connect to things that you used to do, that you used to love. Some of you may like hiking, camping, naturing. I'm making up my own words here. Going to the nature, going on a hammock. I don't know why I'm having so many problems with words today, you guys. But there's a need to connect back to self here. And this is just one medium to do so, especially in this fall season. Some of you are connecting to yourself as a form of abundance. In other words, some of you may be seeking and looking towards material things like jobs, money, people, relationships as a way to secure that abundance. But the abundance is going to come from taking care of yourself. I got that from the apples and apple seeds in particular. It's time to start planting those seeds within yourself and allowing them to grow. So this is also a message about coming back to yourself. You guys have a lot of wisdom within. So coming back in a way, especially in the I'm not going to say solitude, but a way that allows you to connect while disconnecting. You're going to hear the messages that you may be seeking answers to. So pay attention in the next several months when you find yourself doing things that feel good to you, whether they're reading, again, laying back, watching the clouds, simply resting, napping, meditating, dancing, whatever it is. Some of you are waiting for messages. This is why. You see she's waiting at the door. Some of the messages that you have been asking for, maybe from your spiritual team or even on a more practical level, you'll be getting them soon, but don't focus on them, focus on yourself. Okay, you got 2 more cards from this deck. You got 22, haunted house. The things that haunt you are the things you have yet to let go of. I'm going into mama mode here. What did I say in the beginning of this reading? Let it go. Let that shit go. I'm going to link to you a video from Medea, the movie, Tyler Perry's movie, or a role I should say, that is really helpful and that has helped me. And it's about letting things go and people. And even though it has more of a romantic connotation, listen to the message deeply because it really is about more than what relationships are coming up. It's about people, places, things, anything that you know you're done with. And it doesn't have to be negative. Some things may be, again, coming up to mind, reflecting. So there's a sense of making, I'm seeing like a car and I'm seeing like someone shaking hands. It's like making a deal, but it's almost with yourself, really acknowledging what is it that still pops up in my mind? What is it that still bothers me? What are some things that I haven't addressed yet? Because those are the internal energies that are causing instability within you. And of course, we're going to see that outside of ourselves. So during this time, especially with the fall equinox energies, and even as we go through each month and we experience different transits and different energies that accompany that, pay attention to what keeps popping up, because that is going to give you a clue of something that you may be holding on to, something that you still haven't resolved, something that you haven't processed through. This doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to start experiencing paranormal hauntings. Everything is a mirror to you, so pay attention to that as well. Finally, it's hot in here. We have 11. Grow. Pay close attention to the winds. There's a message making its way. Do you remember I just said something? Some of you are waiting for clarity, like communication or messages or a knowing, or look at this. Some of you may be seeing a lot of birds or may resonate with crows or ravens. You may be seeing 11, 22, 5. Pay close attention to the winds. there's a message making its way. Look at this. So this is why it's important. Again, we're being drawn to nature here. Some of you may want to or could benefit from taking a walk in your neighborhood, taking a walk on a trail, or hiking with some friends, or even solo. Because it's when you are able to remove yourself from all the energetic clutter around you, which also includes physical things, people, environments. Your soul is able to just empty out. Almost like when you empty your bladder after peeing. You're like, oh, I feel a relief. Now I can listen. Now I can talk. It's that same energy too. Some of you have to empty out your energetic bladder. That's going to allow you to perceive, to integrate, to absorb messages, in other words, that are coming through and trying to come through. This season is a lot. Like I said, there's a stretching here. You guys are letting go of things, a rebuilding of your structure. Okay, the next oracle deck is the Moonology Messages. It just came out. When did it come out? The 19th, I think, of September. This was just released. It's a new deck, and I'm excited to use this with you all. You're the first sign, first reading I'm using this, so let's see what other messages the universe has for you for the next 3 months. What do my Tauruses need to know, please, for the next 3 months? Thank you. We got one. I thought another card fell. Full moon, forgiveness. At the time of this filming, it's the day before the Aries full moon, the super moon happening on September 29th. And of course, Aries is part of the Aries Libra axis, which focuses on the me and we, right? How we operate within relationships and how they are mirrored back to us. So look at this, we have forgiveness here. We got mountains. So again, the theme of relationships is coming up. This could also speak to forgiveness of yourself for what has transpired and what you thought could have been, because it's always the what could have happened, what could have been, that I feel like we grieve over the most. It's not actually what happened, even though that in itself may lend to some form of grief and processing, but it's always the what ifs. This is what we imagine. This is what life could have been. So there's an element here of forgiveness, of release, and we got, again, let go of the things that haunt you. Some of you are still holding on and will be processing through letting go of relationship hurts, pains, and this could be with anything. Nature in particular is going to be especially healing during this time for you. You're meant to thrive. So nature is, it's almost like your, no, I was gonna say it's almost like your fertilizer, but it's almost when you go outside, as soon as you all go into nature, you may feel just nurtured, essentially, like someone just put fertilizer in you and you're the plant, even though you're surrounded by nature. So some of you are going to feel that effect quite quickly. This is so interesting because we're heading into fall up here in the northern hemisphere, and take it as it resonates wherever you are. But I'm getting a reversal with you all. It's time to head into your own spring, into your light, into the light, fun energy. Not that fall can't be fun. So there's a forgiveness element here. Some of you have been holding on to memories, perhaps repressed memories. And cacao is a heart opener, which is wonderful for obviously relationships, for processing, for emotions, for feeling. So some of you may want to grab cacao. And for me, it's all about the intention. So grab your favorite chocolate that you can melt and make a hot chocolate out of it, and really hold it in your hands and hold it and state an intention of what you would like for this cacao. You can create your own ritualized ceremony. You know, this is paying homage to the indigenous communities that continue to practice this, especially in Latin America. So I always say you can create your own and find ways, because chocolate is immensely therapeutic. It's one plant medicine. I would say rose and hibiscus as well help open the heart. The next oracle deck, we have the Hero's Journey. It's felt like a dream. I feel like the last several months have felt like a dream, and so what's coming for you, I feel has to do with clearing out some of this so that you can create this dream. Okay. What messages does the universe have, please, for my Tauruses? These are big cards. They're kind of hard to shuffle. What messages does the universe have, please, for my Tauruses? What do they need to know? We got 1. Okay. We got number 11. Some of you are seeing 11 because this is the second 11 card. We got breadcrumbs of bliss. Heed your pleasure principle. So again, there's an emphasis here on heading towards what brings you joy, what brings you pleasure, divine pleasure, sensual pleasure. This is going to be a season of really indulging in yourself. And again, I would say practice moderation, practice balance, but do things that make you feel good, that bring joy and happiness to you, that bring the 4 of Wands energy, a sense of freedom. You know, when you lose yourself in something, think of whatever you enjoy, whether it's baking bread, playing video games, maybe it's running or feeding animals, whatever it is, and you lose yourself, do more of it. Do things that bring you pleasure, because that's going to be your light. That's going to nourish you. That's going to recharge you. You guys have a lot of light here for a period of darkness that we're entering. So for me, you're going to find a lot of levity, a lot of freedom in going back to self. Okay, we're gonna wrap this up with a final oracle from Archangel Michael, Sword of Light oracle. We're gonna see what advice Archangel Michael can offer to you all for this next season. Okay. Final message does Archangel Michael have, please, for my Tauruses for the next 3 months? Nope. Let's do it again. You guys are the one and only signs where I'm doing this. The others are going to be handpicked. Okay. You have 37. Welcome abundance into your life. Prosperity is on its way to you. Have faith that Source will heal your financial challenges. Hold on. Okay, there's no glare. A little bit. So it's interesting how this ties into the first 2 cards we picked. There's definitely some sort of instability that many of you are going to be going through, but I feel like it's going to come out in the end positively. And I feel like for many of you, you have already gone through this. You're almost at that point where you're, again, reassessing and finding solutions to ameliorate what has happened. So this could be with changes, job changes, relationship changes, which oftentimes affect your income or your finances. But to me, when I saw this, it's not just financial prosperity that I'm getting as well. It's wealth abundance, which to you, I don't know why I said to you, it could mean something very different, but wealth can mean your health, taking care of yourself, etc. So this is more than just money. I feel like there's a complete reassessment here. Going into the season, you all are going to be aligning to different values. It's almost like when you keep doing the same thing and you no longer want to do it. I feel like you guys are shifting those, and as a result, you're shifting the way you're doing things. So you're going to get different results. And there's a huge component that has resonated throughout your reading is about self-care, taking time out to take care of yourself, taking time to nourish your soul. And again, you guys, if you have 5 minutes, sometimes all it means is an extra 5 minutes in the shower, or an extra 5-minute nap, or sleeping, or just sitting outside. They're very simple things. Sometimes the smallest things make the biggest difference. But there's a need here, whatever situation has happened, to let go, to release. So again, energetic cleanup, to forgive, perhaps yourself or the past, and then to unplug. Because I feel like the moment that you actually take time to really feel that pleasure, it's not just doing it. So again, if you're going to be doing something and going through the motions, that's not the point. It's about really feeling it. For some of you, I'm getting like fabric. Some of you may want to get like a new blanket or new pajamas or something soft that feels silky. The same thing I'm getting with liquid. So some of you may enjoy, perhaps it's cacao, hot chocolate or cocoa, herbal teas, coffee, warm drinks. It's like that whole entire sensory experience, that entire process is what is going to make it for you. So find something that you find decadent. Remember, luxury and wealth have nothing to do with necessary money amounts. It's what it means to you. You're being guided towards this complete rejuvenation. So it's essentially you're heading into your own springtime. And final advice card, please. Final advice card from the universe for my Tauruses. Thank you. You got 2, 6 of Cups and 3 of Pentacles. Similar energy I got with the 3 of Pentacles and 4 of Wands. Look at this. This is really, to me, speaking of your inner child. Connecting back. Some of you may be connecting back. You're being asked to connect back to folks that make you feel safe. So it doesn't have to be people from the past, but surround yourself with people that make you feel safe, that nurture this innate creative soul that you are, that nurture your inner child. In other words, the authentic being that you are. So it's going to work both ways. Your advice, through connecting to the things that you'd like to do, you're going to meet other people on that same path. For some of you, this extends to friend groups that you may have lost, that may have caused instability in your life. The same thing with other types of relationships. By engaging in the things that you do, you're going to meet other people too and start building that community, which is another form of a foundation. And also by potentially seeking out new communities, you're going to nurture your inner child. Some of these souls that are coming your way are soul mates. I wanted to say soul kids, so you may have known them when you were children or in a past life. So stay tuned. You're going to feel it when you connect with these people. It can be platonic or romantic. I'm not picking up one or the other strongly, but I feel like when you meet them, it's going to feel like a home, like a sense of safety. My Tauruses, I hope this 3-month reading post-fall equinox has helped. Comment down below. Let me know what you are most looking forward to changing. Welcome, my Geminis, to your fall equinox next 3 months reading for October, November, December. We are going to take a look and see what is in store for you, what things are coming, and some general advice from the universe. We are going to be using tarot and quite a few oracle decks, so grab something to drink, settle in, and let's get started. Okay. What messages does the universe want my Geminis to know, please, for this fall season or spring, wherever you are in the world? Take it as it resonates for the next 3 months, October, November, December. What do they need to be aware of? Okay. Got more cards than some of the others. We have the 9 of Wands. This is fire energy. 8 of Cups, water, Knight of Pentacles, and 10 of Pentacles. Wow, some of you have left or are leaving behind something meaningful emotionally connected to you. And because of the Pentacles, I feel like it's going to either be a relationship or a job or both, or a career perhaps. Because there's a sense here of walking away. Some of you have made the decision already, or will be. Because here with the 9 of Wands, you're looking ahead. I feel like some of you in the next 3 months in this season are really tapping into, okay, what does the next chapter of my life hold for me? What does the next page hold for me in my storybook? What does it look like? Because there's a very contemplative energy here. An inner light has sparked within you. Your internal, I keep getting light bulb, has flicked on and has gotten brighter. So some of you feel an extreme call, a pull towards something very different. Because right now you may be contemplating it. You may actually be assessing how things are going, or you may be at a point where you've just made a decision and you're like, what's next? So remember, everyone is on different timelines, and because I'm connecting to the Gemini collective, there's a lot of different storylines at play. And it's so important that you remember that, because it's different from an individual reading or a personal reading. So again, something happened, there's an ending, or there will be an ending where you're closing the door on a significant part of your life. For many of you, it's going to be either a relationship and or a career or a job. There's a shifting balance. The scales are shifting here. I feel like this has been a long time coming. This has been thought out after. This has been thought of. You have been thinking about this for some time. I'm like having problems with my words. And you're going towards what lights you up. You see the light here? It's very prominent. The same here. This person is walking away. I feel like the candle, I'm getting a candle reference again. Whatever you were in before has burned out. And this could be physically, where you burned out and you're like, I can't do this anymore, whether it's a relationship or a job or a career. Or you knew internally on a soul level, you're like, I'm done. I've learned everything that I can and that I could in this container, and I need to get out. Because there's a need here to break free. There's a need almost to end this. And it actually aligns well with the cycles that are happening right now. So there's a decision point for some of you. And again, some of you have made this decision and you're at the precipice. You're at the gate of, or at the moment, I should say, of opening this gate where you're like, okay, I'm going to create the next chapter of my storybook of my life. And this is what I'm going to do. And so you may still be in that in-between stage where you're deciding and you're thinking. And there's others that are before that, where you're actually thinking, you know what? I know I want to leave my job. I know this relationship is done. And I get a sense of peace here. That's the thing. You know, when you put up with so much, and there's a lot of things coming right now. For some of you, this has to do with workplace situations where you're like, we'll just say the workplace situation just has not developed into a place of stability and growth. And that's what you guys are looking for right now, because with the 9 of Pentacles and 10, you're looking for complete peace, stability, security. You want, I heard it, everything to tick your own soul goals. And in other words, you're looking at your value system now and matching it up and doing a realignment, like a check-in. Okay, my relationships, how do I feel in them? Do they align to what I believe? Are they going in the direction, or, and this is all of them, I'm not just talking about one, but all your relationships, are they going in the direction that I want them to? Same thing with your career. I feel like this is a life audit. Because for me, 10 of Pentacles always suggests your ultimate source of fulfillment on a soul level, practical. And this is also too translated in the material sense. There's a sense here of finding peace. Even though we see a lot of pentacles here, which signify growth, financial growth, increased income, abundance of, you know, in all areas of life. There's an energy here of you just wanting peace in your life. It's a reclaiming of power, a reclaiming of your values, and almost an identity shift. You're seeing things in a different way now. Do you see the landscapes here, how similar they are? something within you just woke up or lit up. I keep getting a little light bulb. It got brighter, it dimmed brighter, or it turned on where you're like, whoa, I literally feel like I just woke up and I can't continue doing this. So the next 3 months, again, there's going to be a need of walking away from things that you know have expired. Like expired milk. You're like, no, this has run its course and I'm ready to move on. But these are absolutely beautiful cards, because what I'm seeing here is you're going towards something that's very fulfilling on a soul level, and you're willing to work hard sustainably. Some of you are leaving very roller coaster type of work environments and relationships where they were up and down, inconsistent, not stable, a lot of drama, a lot of stress, because you see this person's face. She almost looks like she's done and she's like, okay, what's next? And this person's just walking away, turn their back on. That means you have no more to give. And here, there's a direction, there's a movement here, slow and steady. You're taking really purposeful, intentional steps in the next direction of your life. And you want to see growth, but it's not just growth for the hell of it, like not making money or bringing in money for the hell of it. It's growth on a really deep soul level. I keep getting that because of the white that I'm seeing here. Some of you have very much have and will be connecting on a deeper level to your spiritual self, to your spiritual practices and routines, to your ancestry. And many of you are essentially pivoting your life direction. You're like, this cycle has ended. But I do see there's a period of perhaps emotional, like a storm, emotional storming, like a distraught processing. Because when you end something, no matter if it was your decision, if it was amazing, whatever it was, there's always an element of processing that grief because something is changing. It's kind of like when you graduate high school, when you graduate college, or when you leave an amazing job. And everyone has different experiences, you guys. So I'm using very general examples. Say you had an amazing time in high school and you graduate. It's a bittersweet moment because you are entering the world in a very different way. You're leaving behind a life that's very different. And so that's what I'm sensing here. For a lot of you, you're ready to leave this. So just be kind and compassionate to yourself. Offer yourself a container to, because of your Gemini energy, I would suggest journaling or talking to someone you really trust and value. It could be a mental health professional, a doctor, a friend, a family member, your partner, where you can just process what's coming up for you. Because in this next phase, once you're ready to enter that, I'm getting late November, December time. But everything's going to shift. I mean, everything is going to depend on your own timeline. So please take what I'm saying in terms of dates generally. You're going to have this decisive arrow, almost like, you know, those dogs that hunt and then they put their hand out, their paw and their back paw, pointers, I think they are. It's like that. You are going to decisively know, and you're going to like pivot like an arrow, go straight to work, but in a sustainable way. You see the way this person's dressed too? It's relaxed, it's casual. It's not indicative that this is how you're going to dress, but I feel like you're taking a more relaxed, slower approach, which does not mean you're not going to work hard. I feel like there's a movement towards really embodying, feeling your feelings and your emotions and how they come up in your body, and actually feeling into what feels good. There's a sense here too of doing things that make you feel stable, peace, and grounded. Look at this person walking barefoot, and they want growth. That's the thing. There's growth here. I don't know why I just changed pronouns instead of you, they. So that may be significant to someone. But I feel like this is a life-changing, monumental shift that's happening for you, and many of you are feeling it because something that you've been involved in, and I feel like it was long-term. Hence these pentacles, but also it's all numerological. This is what I'm feeling right now energetically. You were in something long-term, job, relationship, that you're leaving behind, and it's literally like you are shifting a chapter, ending a chapter, closing the book and starting new. I keep hearing, keep heading towards the light. It sounds so cliche, you know, when people talk about life after death or the paranormal, and they're like, yes, I tried to help spirits, and I said cross into the light. But look at the direction of the light here. You have light right here. Light, this person is walking towards the light, the same here. It's hard to see in the card, but there's more of a glow here in front of this person. You all are heading towards what truly brings you happiness and joy. Many of you are going to be refocusing too. I see a grand energetic welcoming of family, however you define it. Family, friends, loved ones. There's a huge focus during the season. And in this season of your life, not just fall or spring, but this focus on connections, nurturing connections, being with loved ones, actually being present with loved ones. That's what I'm getting here. When I mentioned earlier about the way this person was dressing, I feel like the next 3 months, you all are relaxing and feeling into yourself and who you are and how much you have grown in this cycle. It's a very contemplative, reflective, and very introspective time for you guys. Because again, I'm seeing a huge book. You reach the last page and you close it. Perhaps for folks that read maybe religious texts because they're thick, it's akin to that. You're done. You sense a finale here. And a new chapter is opening up, one that is really guiding you. There's a maturity here, an emotional maturity that I sense happening, but more with your connections and with yourself and how you see yourself in these relationships. Some of you have not been able to, for whatever reason, you haven't been able to devote time or presence, like bringing your full self to your connections, and there's a pivot here happening. I'm sensing a lot of freedom here, entrepreneurship, energy, going out on your own, shifting environment. So that could mean shifting into a new community, looking to grow your own community, but also starting a new job, because not everyone wants to start their business. And I want to also include, because there's so many different folks on all different life seasons, lifespans, I wanted to say, cycles. Some people have graduated college, others are starting retirement. And for those of you that are in the phases where you're like, wait, I don't work, I feel like there is still a focus on community. So some of you are going to be focused on what can I do to put out something of value, whether it's service or volunteer related, or guiding or mentoring others, because there's a growth here that's coming. And that's coming with something that you truly value, and it's something that you offer innately, something that only you have. I'm not saying that it has to be anything big. It could be something like volunteering your time, starting a project, or some type of self-development type of endeavor where you want to grow, whether it's language, because there's a lot of community with language learning. It's a social endeavor for many, and again, it depends. Some people just want to learn how to read in another language, so take it as it resonates. But there's something that you want to focus on and grow that's particularly meaningful over the next 3 months for you, something of value, and I feel like you're going to share this with others. Does the universe want my Geminis to know for the next 3 months? September, oh, excuse me, could be September. We only have a couple days as of this recording. October, November, December, for this fall season, or spring, whichever season you're in. What do my Geminis need to know? Thank you. We have rejuvenating rain. Clear the past, heal the present. There is a focus on the present. I keep getting that embodiment, being focused in the now. So again, look at all the water we have. And with the 8 of Cups, there's going to be an emotional release, perhaps over the next, I would say 3-4 lunations. because we have eclipse season coming up. And that provokes, I would say, a lot of internal changes as it does external, and things shifting. But also too, when you end something, there's a finale here. You're about to give your, I heard curtain call. You know, on stages, I don't know if any of you do theater or actors, work as techies, or love attending theater or shows of that nature. Usually the cast, and I don't know about if all the crew comes out, but usually the cast comes out and they bow. That's what I'm feeling is happening here in this part of your life. So there's a lot of emotions that I'm sensing here, and it's going to be important to allow them to come out, to release. In other words, it's like turning on the faucet. Don't plug yourself up. Don't hold that in. Allow that to come out, and that may come through a series of days or weeks, maybe even throughout the season, where you're able to release everything that's happened, especially if it concerns something long-term or something you've held on to or been a part of for a very long time. There's always emotions to process, but I feel like that is going to be the particular catharsis for you that's going to help almost point you and give you a signal like, hey, you're ready to start this section of your life. I don't know why I'm saying section, next stage of your life. Because sometimes when we try to start something immediately after ending something, it feels a little bit bumpy. It feels off. It doesn't feel good. And for me, I know that it's usually because we still have some unresolved things to look at, to examine, and to make sure like, hey, I need to let this go. It's almost like when you end a relationship and then immediately start a new one. Sometimes people project, self-sabotage, and perpetuate the same types of habits in their previous relationship, and things just go downhill. And it's almost like taking a reflective pause. There's a need for a pause, respite, I think, like stopping at a rest area. Because at the Nine of Wands too, there's a fire burning, and so many of you know or have some idea or will be getting messages, downloads, intuitive downloads pretty quickly with this energy of what this next chapter holds. But there's also a moment of wait, don't rush yet. So again, I'm getting a lot of nurturing Care Bear energy, as I call it, of taking care of yourself, really drawing back into your inner child and asking, what is the best thing I can do to take care of myself right now? Maybe I need to cry. And sometimes we just have to cry just to cry. Like for me, I know when I need to, and I'm like, I can't get the tears out, the crying's not coming out. Well, Google or YouTube the most sad songs ever, and I put them on and I have a fountain going. And so this is the same effect. As much as getting the water out of you, the tears, the emotions, it's all energy. It's going to also be very therapeutic to surround yourself with water at this time. Some of you may have prominent Scorpio placements as well, because I feel a depth of emotions that are coming up and out and waiting to be released. So this is going to be a time for rejuvenation, time to take care of yourself. And I use that very loosely because self-care is very multidimensional, and folks tend to think beauty, right? Put on a mask. And I feel like that is one element of self-care, but it's not the same for everyone. So for you, it might mean floating or journaling or eating your favorite food. There's different sides, so just take it as it resonates here. Your other card that you got, joy and delay. Open your heart to joy. So many signs have gotten something about the heart. So folks, I feel like these shifts that are happening are really opening the heart chakra to a new level, a new heightened sensation of what it means to actually live, what it means to actually feel alive in this world. Because it's easy to go through a very rote, mundane existence. It's very easy to go day in and day out doing the same shit, going to work, and soon you're like, damn, 10 years passed. And it happens to everyone. So this is the energy I'm feeling right now. Like I mentioned earlier, there's an energy of tapping back into your inner child, finding what lifts you up. And we have children here too. Look at this. And dogs. Some of you may be expanding your family or looking to start your family this season. And that's going to take different shape and form. It doesn't have to mean getting pregnant biologically, adopting, expanding with adopting animals as well, taking care of other children, being around children. But there's here an element of bringing that back into your life, because this is going to help process and also spark that fire and keep it lit. I should say it's already sparked, but it's going to allow that to continue burning, staying alive. Oh, you guys, Bee Gees, Staying Alive. I'm hearing it now and I'm seeing the scene with John Travolta in my head. I've been channeling songs for all of these readings, so you guys got Bee Gees, Staying Alive. It's about bringing that spark of life back into you, where you feel excited again, you feel rejuvenated. Almost like when you take a crisp, clean shower, you know that commercial, Zest? There used to be the commercial a while ago. It was Zest Fully Clean. You just feel so fresh coming out of a shower, especially when your hair is washed or your scalp is scrubbed. That's the energy here. So in the next 3 months, really identify what you're feeling pulled towards. That's another thing. Some of you are going to feel a pull towards little kid type of activities, of play, if you will. And I hate to even say like little kids, because adults can do this, but they're things you used to do when you were a child that light you up. Maybe reading a certain genre in a book, because I'm seeing spacecrafts, I'm seeing trains, automobiles, and like Boy Scout type of books, themes, that type of thing. I'm also seeing animals and farms, maybe petting animals, or being, because you have a lot of kid energy here. Some of you may want to start volunteering with children, maybe an advocacy organization, or fostering, or doing, like in the US we have guardian ad litem, and some of them call them, they have another name in different states, where you can represent the best interests of children in different legal situations. It's not, how do I call it? It's not legal in any way, but anyways, I'm feeling a pull towards things that have interested you as a child, and things that are really coming up that you're going to start almost like bumping into, like soul bumps, as I call them. One day you're going into, you know, shopping, for example, and you see an ice cream flavor and you get so excited because maybe it brings back a memory of a flavor you used to like, or sprinkles. For example, today I was shopping at the grocery store and I saw sprinkles for Halloween and fall, and they were different colors, and I just got so excited because I loved soft to serve ice cream when I was young, and I loved it when it was dipped in sprinkles. So this is the kind of energy that is heading for you guys. I don't feel like it's bad. So if at this moment, at the time of this reading, you're feeling particularly sensitive, almost like, my life feels like crap, or you just feel like you've ended things and you just don't know what's happening, the most important thing that you're being asked here is to have faith and process your emotions. Okay, let's continue on and see what other messages the universe has for my Geminis. We're grabbing from the Awakened Soul Oracle. It's a cute little oracle deck. I'm cooking brownies right now, so I feel like some of you may want to delve back into cooking and baking. It doesn't have to be anything extensive, but things that you used to enjoy. And it could be just baking as a process itself, because I sense a lot of fun that's heading your way. Wow, how am I not surprised? You guys have four of these cards dropped. We have leadership. Look at this, we've got orange here. Sacral chakra energy. There's a creative fire burning within you. You see the orange? And with the 10 and 9 of Pentacles, there's no doubt some of you already have something in your mind. I feel like you're stepping it up as leaders in your life, but also professionally, and in all areas, I'll say. Sometimes when we play passive roles in our lives, we stay in the driver's seat for a variety of reasons. Fear, we're comfortable, we've always known things the way they were, and also because we are still healing and growing in different ways. So this season, many of you are up-leveling big time. Some of you, like I mentioned earlier, branching out and starting your own businesses, maybe freelancing, or up-leveling in your own career where you are taking the next step. promotion wise or returning back to school for learning, because I mentioned self-development. Some of you are becoming more visible. For those of you that are not in a work sphere, whether you are in school or have retired, I feel like you almost want to re-emerge. I don't know why this came in my mind, but I got an image of a coffin when it opens, but a vampire type. Because you know vampires, like in movies, they sleep in the coffin and then they wake up and they climb out. It's almost like some of you were in hermit mode or dimming yourself, whether that was staying in a relationship or in a job or in a career for so long where you lost yourself. And some of you were literally out of the spotlight. And I don't mean having to be in center stage like a, motivational speaker. But I mean where you were just not really bringing your full presence to the world, because the world needs you guys. Every one of you has a special gift to offer. So I feel like you are returning back to life in a way. Something is going to inspire you where you're like, you know what? I may be retired, but I had a life before and I still have a life. I can offer so many amazing skills to people. It could be simply creating a new community, maybe joining a new community. Because I'm getting, using and tapping into the strength of your network and also growth with the people that you surround yourself with. So leadership, you guys are taking a leadership position in your life. This is really cool. I get like hell yeah energy. We also have mirror. Look at this. You know what's interesting? When we take time out after a lot of things have shifted and happened and there's been just a shitload of change, we start looking over things and thinking, and you guys are not immune to thinking. Hence Mercury as your ruler. You guys have a very active, inquisitive mind. And I feel like the experiences that you've gone through and that are showing you right now, perhaps nuggets or the next steps into your journey, they're acting as a mirror. So when I say this, it's also good to pay attention to what's happening outside of you. Because a lot of times we think, oh, why is this person being so, I don't know, mean to me? Or why do they keep bothering me? Everything around us literally bounces off like a mirror. And it doesn't mean you're being mean to them, that's why they're being mean to you. But it could be like, okay, boing, we're gonna mirror this back to you. You've got a mean person, but you're still involved with the mean person. Whether it's a friendship, whatever it is. What is this teaching you? What is this showing you about yourself? What is it telling you? How do you need to respond? So pay attention, I call them doings, like doing, those moments when you're just like, whoa, something's happening here and I'm not sure what. A lot of times when we feel something is reflecting back to us, it can incite a lot of emotions. We can feel a certain way. And we can also be wondering, wait a minute, this experience maybe feels like deja vu, or it just feels some type of, it feels like a synchronicity of sorts, but it's also very much a learning opportunity here. See the mirroring effect? So pay attention to what's coming up, because I feel like these are intertwined, the mirroring and the leadership. I suspect many of you have very, very strong leadership capabilities. Maybe some of you have been in leadership positions, especially in your career. And some of you are really honing that and realizing, wait, I'm actually a natural born leader, but I've been dimming myself or hiding out or taking the more passive approach of not really allowing myself to step up. We have gift. There's so many whimsical pictures. Gift. This looks like a mermaid to a child. Again, you guys, there's a strong theme here with children. So, and especially with the heart, open your heart to joy. Some of you may be in this season opening up to inner child work. You may be feeling called to really address, it could be wounds related to childhood, trauma, really tapping into reparenting yourself, especially if you didn't grow up in a if you grew up in a dysfunctional environment, I should say. And also allowing yourself to have joy and define what it means. You're gonna start receiving unexpected, we'll call them blessings. You could call them gifts, magic, because there's an exchange that's happening here. So pay attention to the people around you and situations and what it sparks up, because it's indicating something within yourself. And it could be a part of yourself, like your inner child, at whatever stage, whether it was when you were 3, 5, 10, 11. And pay attention to what you're feeling and what's coming up for you. Because I'm getting a reciprocal energy here, where you're gonna have people that are also showing you what it is that you may want to espouse and embody, and also maintain, uphold within yourself, and in other words, embody, and also how you want to incorporate that as a leader. I'm getting beaches now. The beaches. It could be the movie with Bette Midler and I think Barbara Hershey, I think that's her name. But some of you really have a strong relationship to the beach, to water, lakes, anything with a shoreline. And so you may find a lot of creative inspiration, rejuvenation, and joy being at the beach, or even planning the beach trip, or simply looking at beach pictures if you can't get there right now. Sometimes looking at photos of your favorite trips to the beach, or even finding photos if you don't have any, or listening to meditations, or what are those music binaural beats, those kind of frequencies where you can see beach themes. Something about beach waves may be healing. You may have loved mermaids. Again, this is really tapping into that whimsical energy of allowing yourself to express who you truly are. Some of you love mermaids, maybe Little Mermaid. Seafood may be something that you enjoy. There's a water beach theme here. Some of you may have strong water placements. In other words, a lot of energy in your Capricorn, why did I say Capricorn? Scorpio, Cancer, Pisces, areas of your natal chart. Capricorns, that may be relevant to someone, but Capricorn is not particularly beachy. We don't think of it, although we have the sea goat. Finally, you have healing. You got that twice. Clear the past, heal the present. You know what's interesting? You have a lot of blonde people, angels, things. They're all blonde. You see them, the little ones? And you've got brunettes too. So there's something for me. Because whenever I see a lot of like gold blonde, it signals some type of abundance and inner magic within yourself. And it's simply just the color of the light. You see the light here? I didn't even catch this. This person is facing light too. So again, keep going towards the light. Some of you may want to actually decorate your home with light. And if you find yourself in moments during this season of darkness or where you just feel stuck, you're meant to pause and not try to rush or hurry anything. This is very much speaking to the heart as well. So this season is going to be very expressive in the way of emotions, of releasing patterns, of releasing beliefs, and also hurts and traumas and wounds. Some of you, this really denotes and connects to inner child. There's a sense of freedom that I'm feeling, of wanting to just get out. You see this kid? This kid is like completely out, their arms outstretched. This season, many of you are going to be breaking free of really restrictive, limiting beliefs that you've held on to for so long. Whether it's staying in a partnership because you felt like you had to stay and make it work, perhaps your parents were divorced or their relationship didn't work out, or you just experienced a lot of dysfunctional relationships. The same thing with career. I keep getting career with you guys and jobs. Some of you have stuck it out, waiting to be seen, waiting to be recognized, and you didn't get that. You didn't get that we appreciate, we value your service type of speech from the higher ups or the organization or your workplace. Some of you have to value yourself, and I feel like value is going to come up because you have so many beautiful gifts to offer. Let's see what other messages the universe wants you all to know for the next 3 months. What else does the universe want my Geminis to know, please? Let's go again. What else does the universe want my Geminis to know, please, for the next 3 months? None are coming out. Okay, hold on. I'm just gonna pluck one. Okay. We got root vegetables, number 33. In those hidden places where most fear to go is where the most nourishment is waiting for you to behold. Yes, this is a point of healing, perhaps shadow work, diving deep into places that you may not have wanted to before. And I feel like those are going to be popping up. You may be seeing them in other people, especially if someone triggers you or annoys you. And even if it's a situation, like I mentioned earlier, like a relationship or a job where you overgave and you gave it your all, and you still didn't feel like you were seen or recognized or valued. This is allowing you to actually dig deep into your own arsenal, because this person has a little box. And I feel like this is your heart, your box of secrets, treasures you've held close to your heart. But I also feel like, wow, it's kind of coming together now by really allowing yourself to go deep into the depth of what you may have been pushing down or not acknowledging, especially as it relates to your worth. For many of you, this connects back to your childhood of not feeling worthy, of not feeling loved, not feeling seen. It's going to open up I'm getting like a huge fireball, a channel of fireballs, a fireball channel. I don't think I said that right. It's a light opening up, like a portal, if you will, an energetic portal for you, where you're going to feel a lightness coming. You're shedding a lot of heaviness, having to do with values, having to do with energetic traumas and wounds that are still stored. And with the rooting, because root vegetables, obviously they're about being grounded, and like I mentioned earlier, stability, and I'm sensing a strong, overwhelming sense of peace. Some of you just want, there's a simplicity here too. I'm getting parsnips, peeling parsnips right now. You're being guided to by your own internal wisdom and your spiritual team as well. So pay attention to things that start coming up that you feel. Because sometimes we don't realize going to the playground, we think, it's no biggie. And we realize we go there even for like 10, 15 minutes and we leave there so happy and elated. It's that type of nudge. You may get a nudge to go do something and you're like, why do I need to buy crayons? Like I bought crayons recently. And it's because I'm so excited to draw and color. And I even got glitter crayons, you guys, they have them. I got excited. So it's that type of feeling. You may be out shopping one day and all of a sudden you're like, wow, I haven't had maybe parsnips, and maybe that connects to a memory that you hold about parsnips. Maybe you loved it. Maybe you loved eating a particular dish that your family made. But this season is about unearthing those and allowing those to finally release, because you got this, clear the past. Some of you may be holding on to resentment or guilt, and it doesn't have to necessarily be towards others. It could be towards yourself, especially with what I mentioned earlier relating to career and to relationships. What other messages does the universe have, please, for my Geminis? What else Does the universe want my Geminis to know? Like 10 cards came out. Hold on. I'm just gonna pick. I'm gonna be here all day. We got yoga. Ooh, why did I say yoga? Some of you, yoga may actually be very beneficial at this time as it helps you connect to the presence and allows you to feel the movement, because you have to embody each movement. And again, depending on the yoga move, but it takes concentration and being present. It's hard to watch a movie while doing yoga. But some of you may also want to rejuvenate with a movie. We got Yang Moon. This is a feminine moon. Excuse me, masculine moon. We got Strength. This sounds really cliche. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger. And with this masculine energy, with this lunation, because ironically today, at the time of filming your reading, Geminis, it is the full moon in Aries, which is a masculine sign. Fire signs are masculine: Sagittarius, Leo, and Aries, and also the air signs, Gemini, Aquarius, Libra. So I feel like you will draw, and you're being asked to draw strength, not just from within yourself, but also from your guides, your spiritual team, and how you truly connect to this world materially and also spiritually. There's not a need to do anything. Sometimes we feel like when something comes up for processing, right before we start something new, we feel like we always have to do something. And many times with the processing of emotions, it's simply about feeling them. Imagine if someone were to pour paint over you. It's kind of like that. You feel it. You just sit there and you feel the pain, right? And you just, obviously it's a little bit different, but with the energetic expression of your emotions, after a while, you feel lighter. Ever had a good cry? Or you just punched a pillow because you were upset and then you started crying? And then, you know, you take a shower or a bath and get into your pajamas and you just feel better? It's like that. That in itself is going to be your source of guiding strength throughout this time. There's a need for emotional expression. Don't be afraid of the dark, because you're heading towards the light, which is, again, like I mentioned, you have a crap load of light energy facing the light and going towards the light. But to get to the light, you have to go through the darkness. So don't bypass it. Don't skip over it. Okay, we are almost done. Let's see what other messages. Thank you. This is from the Hero's Journey Dream Oracle. We have 44. You have Ascended Master numbers. You had 33, now you have 44. Eyes on the prize. Trust the guidance. Did I just lisp? Trust the guidance of your North Star. I feel like this also is like this pivot with the Knight of Pentacles. You know where you're headed. You guys are headed for the light. Do you see that? As heartbreaking and fill in any other emotion you feel as it is, leaving something behind, ending something, ending a chapter. Again, I'm getting a finale here. You're heading towards the light because you know exactly that's the direction you want to head into. Look at this. This is absolutely synchronistic and beautiful. Eyes on the prize. Stay focused on what it is that you want to feel, even if you don't exactly know what it is that you want to do. And for those of you that do know, obviously that gives you that distinct, almost oomph, like perhaps push to stay focused on that, no matter how slowly, because this energy in this next phase of your life, I feel, is going to be extremely intentional. You guys are going to be asking questions. Does this help me pursue what I want to? Does this support my goals? Does this feel good? because this earth energy, they do things methodically, right? Things are done in a very slow, intentional way, because the foundation of anything, that first layer, is the most important, because if that foundation is strong, well, you have a higher likelihood of succeeding in whatever it is that you want. But if that foundation is weak, porous, not strong, it'll crumble, and you'll start to see that. So for any of you feeling like, oh, I'm not sure what's happening, this is about trusting yourself. We see stars here, crowns. That's another thing. Look at this. These folks are wearing crowns. Flower crowns. Do you see that? And then we have a crown here. It's kind of hard to see. You are going to be guided, so pay attention. It's all within you. The answers are going to come within you on each step. As you process any of these emotions, and as you release and let go and start tapping into joy, start tapping, it's more play. It's essentially adding more play. A lot of you are recalibrating balance in your life. Some of you have been over giving to others, in the sense of giving too much in relationships or a work environment, so there's been an off kilter. Or some of you haven't done what it is that really sparks your fire, especially if you're retired. It's easy sometimes for that transition. Obviously, I'm not retired at the moment, but I've heard from folks that when they retire, sometimes if you go to the other extreme, where you go from working and having a very busy life to not working, some folks don't enjoy it, and they may feel like they become anxious, perhaps experience depression, and others may want to re-engage and actually continue working in a different way. Because the definition of working, if you think about it, most people connect it to money. And yeah, most people, when they work, they get some kind of compensation, but work can look differently. It can look different in different seasons of our life. So it may be, again, some people may want to go back to work. For those of you that are at this stage, you're being asked to follow what it is you're feeling, those nudges that you're feeling. I think too, society sets these types of parameters around different stages where people think like they have to abide by them. Like, okay, after high school, you have to go to college, and then after college, get married and have kids young, and then start your career and work, you know, for the next, who knows, 15, 20, 30 years. And then you retire nicely, calmly, fitting that all in a package. And then that's it. This reminds me of the Blue Zones. There's a documentary on Netflix, and also there's a series of books. His name is Dan Buettner, or Butner is his name, but it's the Blue Zones book. This brings to mind that I keep getting a strong focus on older adults right now, and those that may not be in traditional seasons, what people mostly depict or what society depicts. The Blue Zones is a beautiful example that at any stage of your life, you make, what is that saying? You make what it is, you make of it whatever you want it to be. I hope I got that right in translation. And for most of these folks, especially if they've retired from a traditional type of job, right? Or even from working, community is a huge focus point. So for those of you that are like, oh, I'm feeling lonely, I don't feel like I really have any friends, my family lives far, community is going to be one way of re-entering this world. In other words, shining your light. Because people think that the only way to give value to others is through work. Simply smiling at someone, that's giving value to someone else. It's your energy that's going to make a shift. So I'm speaking to those of you where you're like, I have no idea what I want to do. I don't have any skills or values. I'm retired, or I'm still in school. Simply being you. That's what this whole, I feel like what this reading's about. You are the value. You are the gift. It's not nothing. Wait, why did I put up healing? Oops. You are the gift. Do you see this? Oh, I kid you not. This mermaid is giving her a crown. Remember I mentioned crowned? This is about reclaiming your value. This little girl is getting the crown back. We've had crowns here. It's about wearing your crown and knowing that whatever you do, you are impacting the world in such a positive and beautiful way with your own unique energy. Ooh, that gives me shivers. Okay, we got a final message from the Sword of Light Oracle. Let's see what Archangel Michael has to say to you. What message does Archangel Michael have for my Geminis? Of course, this is so Gemini-like. 15, increase your knowledge. Education brings opportunities. Take a course, pick up a book, or find a mentor to teach you what your soul longs to learn. Ooh, wants to know. I mentioned personal development earlier. Some of you will benefit from pursuing something that has been popping up repeatedly, or something that you're feeling pulled to learn, or maybe it's professionally and you know, hey, I want to take a course in management or leadership because you did get leader, or even healing. Some of you may be pursuing alternative healing modalities, or for pleasure, maybe it's videography. Whatever it is, you're gonna meet folks. That's how we start connecting to other people. They're like breadcrumbs. We follow them one piece at a time. And your knowledge, I know I'm a lifelong student. I'm always learning. I love the library. Some of you may want to look at the library events and see what's happening, or check out other events in your city, because learning takes form in so many different ways. Online, workshop. It could be a traditional, like a degree program, a certificate, a course. It could be a cultural event. You learn in many different ways. So you guys are, it's almost like in and out. You're being guided to really honor your feelings at this time during the next 3 months and process them. Allow yourself to really feel those waves of emotions that are coming and allow them to release. I sense a lot of crying is going to be happening. Crying for what could have been, crying for what was, and crying happy tears of joy for what will be. But also not dimming your light. Some of you have to get back out there because you're being called to follow that light and to shine brightly. Your presence is needed. Gemini, some of you may have been retreating or not giving yourself the credit that you deserve, because you are realizing that just because other people or other situations or jobs or whatever it is may not have valued you, doesn't mean that you don't hold that value. You do. Let's get a final advice card from the universe. It just popped out. I think your reading's the longest out of everyone's. Knight of Swords. Air energy, no less. Look at that bird. You're going to be getting a lot of messages coming in, and I feel like these are very spiritual messages. Right now we have Mercury in Virgo, and it'll be ingressing into Libra early October. I don't remember the date. So I feel like, again, Virgo is the other sign whose ruler is also Gemini, but it's a different type of energy though. So I feel like your advice is to really heed those messages that you're getting and go after them. Follow that trail. Follow that next nudge. Remember, this next season of your life, it's all about connecting to what is meaningful to you, what's important to you, and how and what you prioritize is going to align to those values. For many of you, you're going to really value in this season your connections, play and joy time, allowing yourself to actually live and not dimming your light anymore, keeping it shining bright, because many of you are taking up space and you're meant to. My Geminis, I hope this reading has helped, and I appreciate you being here, and I will see you soon. Bye. Hi, my Virgos. Welcome to your reading, your fall equinox reading, and for the next 3 months, October, November, December. Let's get started and see what messages the universe has for you at this time. We are going to be tapping into some tarot and oracle. Okay. What do my Virgos need to know, please, for the next 3 months? What does the universe want my Virgos to know, please, for the next 3 months? We got one card pop out. 9 of Swords in reverse. This is air, Gemini, Aquarius, Libra. So I feel like there's a processing here with the 9 of Swords in reverse. Wow. I'm getting a vampire movie. If any of you are into vampires or like vampires, when they, I guess, kill the vampire, they put a stake through its heart. I feel like this is the final release of sorts. There's an awareness, there's an acknowledgement that will be coming, permeating, I'm hearing. Almost like when a can of paint opens and you can smell it everywhere pretty quickly. There's that type of awareness that's going to be coming about some endings that have happened and some things that are going to come to an end that you already know about. I don't feel like this is a surprise. Hold on. We're gonna clarify this. I don't feel like this is a surprise for most. I feel like many of you have already been feeling this and have been going through this. So there's something that has caused you pain, tremendous pain and grief. And it could simply be an outlook, or it could be something external that happened to you. Can we clarify the 9 of Swords, please? Okay, that popped out. We have, of course, Ace of Air, which is swords in this deck. Inspiration, communication, and adjustments. For me, this has a lot to do, and I'm sensing is like a way of living, a way of seeing things, a way of your belief system. Something that you operated under or in or within a framework for so long, you're now seeing that it was faulty and that it allowed you to do what you needed to, but you've grown so much beyond that that you're shifting to a new way of seeing things, a new way of operating. It's almost like you got a reboot, excuse me, an upgrade, a software or system upgrade, kind of like a computer. That's what I'm sensing here. You're letting go of things. And this is expanding. There's like a whole new way of seeing, whole new way of being, whole new way of looking through the world, looking through your lenses. You're letting go. There's almost like a connection here to the past. I feel like during the next 3 months, you're going to be letting go of layers, almost like an identity revamp. You're letting go of layers of old you, or old layers of who you were. And it's almost like I'm getting opening up of like a mint bubble gum, the long one. I think it's, I forgot the name. Oh, I hear the commercial in my head for this gum. It's the brand of Juicy Fruit, but it's not the yellow gum. It's not Juicy Fruit. Anyways, it's that feeling. You're gonna feel just a complete new slate up here, complete new way of looking at things. As a result, the way that you communicate with others will be very different. This seems almost esoteric with you guys. Let me see what other messages Spirit has for you, please. The universe for the next 3 months. What do my Virgos need to know? Got one card. What is this? Taurus got a lot. What? All my cards are upright. And of course, the cards you're getting, they're in reverse. We have the Fool card, Aries energy in reverse. I sense a little fear here. This might be, excuse me, the fear here of releasing, of finally releasing an outdated mode of seeing, of thinking, of believing. Essentially, your operating system is completely shifting. And I sense a fear here, almost like a pushback, almost like, we're not pressing that upgrade button or that, what is it, download the new software and then restart. You're like, there's a little bit of ambivalence, but a little bit of fear here, perhaps because I feel like many of you know deep down that the belief system that you've adopted, it doesn't fit you anymore. It's like when you keep trying to wear that stretchy knit sweater that you love, but you're like, it doesn't feel right. It doesn't fit in all the right places like it used to. It's too short on the sleeves. It's too tight across, the shoulders or neck. It doesn't feel good anymore. And that's what's happening here. I feel like your soul wants to break free of this, and you're like, not yet. So there's almost like a back and forth here, but I feel like it's coming. Let's get some more messages. Anything else the universe has for my Virgos? Anything they need to know, please, for the next 3 months? I heard some drop. Oh, I heard a bunch drop. Crap. Shit. Okay, there's a few here. Hold on. Now I'm like, should we have done that? Because you've got a lot of messages here. Okay. You have 5 of Swords and Page of Pentacles. So yeah, there's fear here about starting anew, looking at things through a new way of being, of living. And I feel like it's causing you anxiety. There may be a push-pull. That's what you may be feeling, because this connects with air energy. To me, it's not just your mind and intellectual, but it manifests pretty quickly in your material world. And so you may have had people that have been noticing, like, wait, something's different about you. What have you been up to? Are you okay? What's going on? People may have noticed like slight differences about you, and they may not have been able to pinpoint it. And you yourself know that you're undergoing a transformation, like big time. Because mindset, I would have to say, is the deepest, most profound type of transformation, because when we shift our mindset, things shift pretty quickly out on the outside. And so right here, I'm sensing that I'm almost getting the message from the universe, from spirit. Yeah, it's okay to feel anxious, because there's a level of fear that we feel when we're about to outgrow something, when we're about to let go, when we're about to transform. Because when you're in the in-between stages, it's uncomfortable. It's like we're stretching, we're being pulled apart. Maybe that's how bread feels. When we knead the bread and we massage the bread, I don't know what it feels, but this is that's what's coming to mind here. But your soul is ready for this new start. There's something stable that's coming as a result. Some of you are going to be planting more stable seeds. In other words, some of the mindsets you may have been dealing with, your belief systems, may have sabotaged or caused some form of delay in your goals, in your dreams, and what it is you wanted to bring to life. This is really big. Okay, you guys, I have a few more cards. We have the 8 of Pentacles. Again, King of Wands. So we have this energy here of going forward. King of Wands is pretty decisive here. And this definitely concerns pursuits that you want to create, that you want to bring to life. Some of you may have a fear that the way that you have upgraded, we'll say, right? The way that you have attuned, you may be asking yourself, can I still accomplish what I want? Is this still possible? What if it doesn't happen? That's where we have some of these fears and resistance, especially with the reversed Fool card, 9 of Swords and 5 of Swords. I don't have enough hands, you guys. That's where I feel the resistance coming, because as much as you know that it's time and that you're ready to let go, there's like an internal tug, and you're being guided right now. I feel like the energy is coming up, perhaps with the Aries full moon that we have. At the time of this filming, it'll be the next day on the 29th. So that lunar energy going into the eclipse, the next 2 eclipses, Libra and Taurus respectively, I feel like those are going to give you the momentum to finally take charge and to go forward. Because a lot of you have there's a lot of things that you have your mind set on, dreams and goals that you want to accomplish and bring to life, and you're ready to dedicate. And I feel like these energetic shifts, they're going to help you propel Things are going to happen either outside of you or within you that are going to propel you to be like, okay, I'm cutting it. This is it. I'm going forward. Because look at this. When I clarified the Nine of Swords, we got the Ace of Air, Ace of Swords in this deck. So there's a brand new beginning here that's happening here. And you see the sword? You're moving forward. We have Temperance, Nine of Pentacles. Again, many of you will be connecting to your spiritual guides, and in particular angels. A lot of angelic. Granted, this is the Angel Tarot, but you guys have a lot of angelic energy here. So some of you may be working a lot with angels, your guardian angels, archangels. I'm hearing Sandalphon. Some of you have been calling on Archangel Michael for strength. So pay attention to these messages, because they're helping you build. There's an inertia happening within you. So the next three months, they're allowing you to build an internal way of shifting, of knowing, that is going to help you release and propel you forward. Because all of these cards are moving you, they're telling us a story here of moving you forward. You're being propelled forward. It's almost like when you are in one of those elevators, excuse me, not elevators. It could be an elevator, but it's a walking, I don't know what it's called. It's not an escalator. Those walking things, when you're at the airport, you can walk and they accelerate you. We'll call it walking pad. It's almost like that. You're being put on those walking pads and you're being propelled forward, being pushed. We have Six of Pentacles and Queen of Wands. You got the King and Queen of Wands here. This is a huge internal glow up. So if you're feeling any sort of restriction, any sort of stress or anxiety, and you know what it is, I feel most of you do, know that it's, when you're processing through this, there's a stage of discomfort that happens when we are about to release something and we're about to move into something new. There's that little waiting period, or that in between, where it just feels off because we still haven't acclimated yet. So it's still brand new. But you have you've got quite a few of Pentacle energies too. Stability is coming. Look at this. These cards show success. So you may be feeling, if you're feeling stagnant right now, so we're going into October, you may be feeling temporarily stagnant, a little bit like, hey, what's happening? Why is the pause button still on pause in my life? Why aren't things shifting? They're going to be shifting. There's going to be a moment of clarity, whether something happens outside of you, and it could happen because you have a bunch of pentacles here and air. It could be happening through communication with someone at work or in your professional life that all of a sudden creates an epiphany for you. You talk with someone. It could be a coworker. It could even be family, anyone having to do within your stability, within your household or work environment, where someone's communication, a message to you, or divine message, you just have an aha moment, like an intuitive download, and you're like, shit. And all of a sudden you know exactly what has to shift, because after that, things propel pretty quickly. A lot of you have ideas. I feel like this has to do with your soul, we'll just call it soul path, because I believe we have different purposes here, and it's not just one big purpose. Some of you are wanting to shift into work, into passions, into projects that truly light you up, that truly make you lose sense of time. For some of you, this also speaks to relationships. Some of you are in relationships where they're not allowing you to grow in the way that you want to. There's a stagnancy there. It's almost like you reach the threshold, the limit. Think of the relationship like a video game. You can't go to the next level, literally. And some of you are like, wait, I want to bring this person and go to the next level, and you can't. You're being called. There's going to be a moment where you're going to be starting. You're being prompted to go ahead and focus on what you want to create, what you want to bring to life. Because sometimes our journeys with certain people end. It's not as a punishment, even though at the time it feels like, oh shit. Sometimes space has to be made so that you can pursue what it is that you want. And I feel like it's through this mechanism you're going to, for those of you that are going through relationship breakdowns or endings, through this path of realignment, you will meet a person that's more aligned with you, that has that same level of passion and growth, that wants to grow with you in the relationship. Because think of a relationship like a plant. And I'm not a plant person. I mean, I love plants, but what are they called? I'm not an expert in plants. So when their roots touch the bottom, or when they outgrow the container, you have to repot it, right? That's how a relationship is. Hopefully both people are willing to grow, but not everyone is wanting to grow in the same way or at the same time. And sometimes we have to make choices. Am I going to stagnate? Am I going to stop growing at the expense of this person to make them feel comfortable? Or am I going to thank this person for everything that they taught me, express gratitude, and part ways? So there's something here about that. Some of you, and it doesn't have to be romantic, for some of you this could be with friends or the people you hang around with, or even a job. But there's something currently where you, because of your mindset that's shifting and you're wanting to grow, there's an expansiveness here. I mean, we got the Ace of Air clarifying the Nine of Swords. Something wants to bust open here with the Ace of Air. Something big, and I feel like it has to do with your passion, your soul passion. Look at this. Many of you are wanting to reclaim back your light. What is that? Now I'm hearing a song. Come on, baby, light my fire. Hold on, I'm writing it down. The Doors. I've been channeling a lot of songs for folks. You're looking for something to light your fire, to tend to those, is it embers? I wanted to say fur, but that's not it. You want the flames to keep going, and I'm not denoting anything sexual or anything like that. It's literally your life force energy, your passion, why you do what you do, why you wake up and do the things you do. Some of you are stuck, are feeling stuck. Because I'll say a lot of times when we think we're stuck, it's all up here. I keep getting this. You have to change how you're doing things in order to change the result. So something in your life, in this equation of life, has to be removed. And you're being prompted and you're being guided. A lot of you are getting a lot of message, of downloads here. And there's, again, fear, because some of you already know what you need to do, but you're afraid. The thing is, you're going to be successful. Look at this. There's going to be an inner equilibrium that comes during the next 3 months when you decide what you want for yourself and when you decide that you are worth it. Because you've got King and Queen energy, and you've got a shitload of Pentacles. 8, 9 of Pentacles, Page of Pentacles, and you have the Temperance card. You're being redirected right now. And the next 3 months are going to be extremely transformative because they're leading you back almost like a GPS. Some of you may have been off your GPS for several years, maybe more than a decade, if not longer, and you're being rerouted. And I say that generally. I don't say that, oh, you made a mistake, you chose wrong. I firmly believe that the choices we make, they're not mistakes. We pursued the path that we did because we needed to learn something. That's it. But you're being directed right now throughout these next 3 months towards your own inner fire. It's time to reclaim that spark. Some of you may be afraid of shining your light brightly. Okay, let's take a look what other messages. Oh, thank you. Got 3 cards here with the, which one is this? Sacred Traveler Oracle. We got Gates of Triumph. Success expands in your life. Look at this, light. Taurus got something similar, but a totally different reason. Look at this, what awaits you. It's almost like when you're being asked, you have 2 boxes of cereal and you're being asked to choose one, and one of them has the prize or the ticket to the next part of your life. Some of you, I'm sensing this type of fear. You're like, what if I choose wrong? Just know that you can't ever choose wrong. I feel like the way that I perceive life, it's like a GPS. Sometimes we think we're going to find what we want in something, in a situation, in someone, and we realize it sometimes sooner, sometimes later. Well, shit, this wasn't it. And right now I'm feeling like your heart, your soul in particular, is like really wanting this expansiveness. Some of you are going to be shifting the relationships that you have in your life. Some of you may have been overgiving, because Virgo, you guys are the healers of the zodiac. And for Virgos, there's a strong sense of caretaking too, of serving others. Service is a huge prominent energy on this axis with Virgo Pisces. So some of you may have overinvested or have been investing so much of your time where the allocation of your own resources, energy, and time is severely underlimited. So this is also a call for you to reclaim your power. Because when you get to this door, you're going to feel this energy of like, oh my gosh, look at all these opportunities. Look at all these possibilities. What can I do? It's surprising when you have energies around you. Again, whether it's a romantic or platonic relationship or plural, many, more than one. And you shift them in some way, whether it's enacting a boundary or even, removing yourself from them, you feel differently. Especially if you know a particular group of people or someone isn't really right for you anymore, you feel it right away. And everything starts to open up differently. Again, this keeps going back. Like, I get cartoon images. When everything is so hunky-dory and happy in cartoons, it's that type of vibe. You're going to see things through the eyes of a child, and you're going to look at the world very differently as a result of this shift. Your next card, we got Voyage of the Heart. Love flows through you and to you. Look at this, there's water. So there's a lot of emotions here. I feel for many of you, this is going to relate to relationship or relationships with friends, with people around you. It could be coworkers that you've known for a long time, and also romantic partners. This is, Taurus got something similar with a cacao card, and there was a focus on heart opening too, on inner child. So for you, some of this too could come back to healing your heart. Some of these shifts that are happening for you in the next 3 months are going to be about bringing up emotions to the surface, to be cleansed, to be transmuted and alchemized. There could be tears coming. Some of you may be having transits, seeing that are passing through. Hold on, let me say this again. Some of you may have quite a bit of energy in the Pisces sector of your chart. And if not, you could have a particular transit. I'm just getting a lot of emotion, but depth, dealing with a collective consciousness, like love. It could be Cancerian energy too. So there's also a heart cracking here, a heart opening. What's been working for you in the past with relationships is no longer working for you. And that shift can be scary because I feel like deep down, once you make these changes, once you speak your truth, once you communicate, because there's a shitload of communication energy here with Pentacle, it's going to change something in your reality, in your foundation. And I feel like for some of you, you're going to get upset. You're going to be like, I don't want things to change. And this is also too about releasing the control, because sometimes you can align yourself to someone and still things don't turn out the way that you want. There's a lot of letting go. Do you see how it looks like she's like blowing, and when you blow something, you just let it go and release? There's that type of energy. This is also very much about coming back to yourself. I feel like this is like a trademark of the Aries, Libra nodal, the lunar nodes transit right now, because it's the energy. Everyone is being guided, depending on where Aries is in your chart, to really cultivate that energy and nurture it. We also have impasse, reflect and redirect your energy. Look at this. And we have fall here. So again, this speaks to energy I'm getting that quote, energy flows where attention goes. You're being asked to redirect the focus and the energy at this time to yourself. And for those of you that are in relationships and you're like, romantic, I'll say, or even platonic, and you're like, nope, they're not going anywhere, we're tight, everything's good. This doesn't mean that all of a sudden you ignore them. It simply means, okay, it's time to set some boundaries. It's time to actually start going after what I want. Because a lot of you are feeling this drive, pull forward, and the universe is pulling you on that walking pad thing that I mentioned. You're being guided to go in that direction. So listen to your heart. Ooh, another one. As soon as I said that, the word started chiming. Roxette. Isn't that Roxette? Listen to your heart when she's calling for you. And please remember, some of these songs, they seem outright, you know, they have a specific theme. Like some people think love song or this. Listen to the words deeply and what you start getting, because you will intuitively get messages for you. They're tailored. Just because I bring up like a love song, for example, doesn't mean it's going to be a love song for everyone. This is about listening to yourself. You will know. I know so many of you already know, because you guys are strong ass manifestors and overthinkers since your lordship. Your ruler is Mercury. So really don't overthink. It's time to listen to your heart in this new stage of your life. Okay. We have, I'm going to continue pulling some more oracle. I'm pulling Seasons of the Witch, which is a new oracle deck I got. I'm so excited to use these. The cards are beautiful. Look at this. It's like an orange foil. What other messages does the universe have, please, for my Virgos? What other messages does the universe have for my Virgos, please? Oh, it flipped. I almost didn't catch it until I looked at it. Okay. We have pumpkin spice and apple cider. 30. Nothing is more nostalgic than the joy of belonging in your presence. Some of your messages seem cryptic, poetic, if you will. Is that a haunted house? This is a house with a chimney and smoke coming through. Back there. Look at this card. I love the illustrations. They're beautiful to me. So I'll put the message closer. I feel like in this season, you guys are coming back home to yourself. Similar message to Taurus. This is so ironic. If you have heavy placements in Taurus, or maybe you have a transit that's hitting your Taurus point in your natal chart, there may be a message for you in the Taurus reading. I feel like you are actually beginning to acknowledge yourself, to accept yourself, and to truly love yourself. Some of you may finally come to a point, you will come to a point this season where you're like, I love myself. Holy shit. It's like an epiphany moment where you actually, in your own company, you feel joyful. You start connecting back to things that you've enjoyed doing. Some of you, it could be pumpkin spice and apple cider, literally. There's candles here, there's a mug looking out the window, wearing knits, comfortable clothing, enjoying life. I feel like many of you are realizing your own value, especially when it comes to others. Some of you have overextended yourself. I keep getting that message. You've overinvested and overextended yourself in relationships, and you did not always feel valued. You didn't feel that reciprocal, you know what, I appreciate you type of energy. And this is across the board. Family relationships, friendships, work relationships, and also romantic partners. It's not until you finally say, you know what, I matter, I value myself, and you start showing that to yourself, that you start seeing the beauty in that. So things are shifting within you dramatically, Virgos. This is super cool. I'm a Virgo moon. This is really, and you just had your season. Happy belated birthday, my Virgos. You just had your season beforehand. So many of you, your solar return happened and you're starting a new cycle. This is a new cycle for you. The next 3 months are huge. You start valuing the presence of who you are. Okay. We are going to read from the book here. I haven't read from this book yet. Your higher self chose this card. Hold on, I don't want there to be a glare. Okay, there we go. Your higher self chose this card because there are hints from your past that hold the answer to your future. This card presents itself to you when you are feeling confused or questioning your strengths, talents, and perhaps even your life purpose. Didn't I say that in the beginning? It might seem as though you have no idea what you should be doing with your life. You may have had a spark of inspiration here or there. I gotta pause that for a sec because you got a big ass spark that's on its way here with the Ace of Air, which is sword energy. It's coming. You may have had a spark of inspiration here or there, but what feels like an aha moment, 1 second turns to crippling doubt and fear just as quickly as the thought arrived. Here's the doubt. It's normal. It's normal, you guys. Pumpkin spice and apple cider guides you to return to the past when you're searching for clues to your next steps. What did you enjoy doing as a child? What was your answer or answers when asked, who do you want to be when you grow up? Did you see yourself as an artist? Perhaps it's time to explore different forms of creative expression. Did you see yourself as a farmer? Why not cultivate a small garden? You never know where small steps might lead. A small garden may one day turn into a sprawling farm. Hold on, I think that's it. I want to make sure. Oh shit, no, there's a little paragraph more. Children know the value of incredible dreams, and so did you when you were a child. Don't discount any childhood fantasy, no matter how silly it may seem. One breadcrumb will lead to another, and what was a desire to be an astronaut might simply mean a love of the stars. Astrology could fulfill that same love. Allow yourself to imagine anything is possible, because when you do, you give your soul space to uncover the possibilities you didn't even know were there. Holy smokes, you guys. You're reading, this card says it all. Sometimes I feel like you're not going to hear me again and I repeat, but I'm not going to repeat because you can replay this this reading, and I'm trying not to make these overly long, and they're already longer. Wow. The answers are within you, guys. It's tapping back into who you are. There's a strong need right now for individuation to reach that level of, I would say, meaning and almost coming together with your own soul of being like we're home. Oh, I almost skipped a deck. Got a few more, guys. This is a new deck, the Moonology. This one, what does it say? Moonology Messages. It's a new, I think it's the third Moonology deck, Oracle deck by Yasmin Boland. It came out on September 19th. So we're gonna see what other messages the universe has for you. It's interesting because so many times in our professional career, we think we have to do something professionally or career related in order to find our purpose or meaning, or we have to look for something better paying or with more attention or whatever it is. But when you actually start to play, color, do fun things, which is ironic because so many of us, I would say especially Virgos, we're hard on, I don't know why I'm a Virgo moon, but I'm including myself too, part of the group. We're hard on ourselves because we seek to do things through a very logical, analytical way, but it's the way of relating to that world. And sometimes we forget you don't always have to try as hard to find what it is you're looking for. Okay, what other messages, please? Thank you. Okay, you got 2 cards. moon magic, transformation. Look at this. Yes. I almost feel like these dogs, it looks like a Great Dane. Any of you that are dog connoisseurs will know the breed. There's a duality happening, but I also feel like there's a merging. Almost a merging of yourself within yourself. Inner child perhaps, or a part, if you do like part systems work. I feel like at the time of this filming, if I didn't mention that already, we have the full moon in Aries happening the next day, tomorrow. Then we have 2 eclipses happening. 2 weeks later, on October 14th, we have the solar eclipse in Libra, followed by the new moon lunar eclipse in Taurus, excuse me. Some of you may start to receive major downloads during these next few months, these 3 months, that are going to help you guide yourself through this process. It's an internal process. And it's important, I'm hearing it's important not to overthink things, to allow things as they come up, to acknowledge them, to be present with them, almost like you're accompanying this other feeling or emotion or whatever's popping up with you. There's like an internal, I'm hearing there's an internal child love transformation happening. In other words, the more that you get in touch with a part of you that you may have perhaps neglected, pushed to the side, or ignored for many reasons, no judgment here, when you reconnect to that part of you, that's when the process of releasing those old beliefs I mentioned earlier are going to start unraveling and coming. So that's why it's important to focus on yourself during this time, to nurture who you are, to indulge in what you love. Anyone that doesn't make you feel safe is going to be someone that your body is going to recognize, and you're being asked to really consider, is this someone that you want on your journey? I'm getting person in particular, people. We also have talk to the moon, communicate. You've got a, I'm not surprised, crap load of messages about communication. So you are going to be receiving communication. Some of you from animals, birds, from your guides as well, your spiritual team. Again, I said something about the new moon, excuse me, the lunations, full moon, new moons, and full moons that are coming up. So pay attention during those cycles. It'll be September 29th, and this may have passed by the time I posted this video, but the window's open until October 14th, which is the next lunation. And then we have September 28th, which is the 3rd lunation in the season. So a super moon followed by 2 eclipses. So you, I suspect, are going to receive a lot of downloads during these lunations around not just your progress, things that you're being prompted to release, because some of you are holding on. And I feel like that's where you may have the impasse. In other words, the feeling of being stagnant or stuck. And when we let go of that, we can make space for where it is we want to go, and also the energy that is trying to come in here, which is this. This is beautiful energy for you waiting. Crap, it's 40 minutes. Okay. What other messages does the universe have, please, for my Virgos? Nope, I thought it turned, it didn't. What other messages, please, does the universe have for my Virgos? Okay. We have 51. Be the bridge. Expand your consciousness to behold both worlds. Look at this. I mentioned something about duality here, not just in this world. Some of you are opening up to, I'll say it, stronger psychic gifts, stronger attunement. like you've been tuned up like a piano. You're like, ooh, I didn't hear that note before this way, and now you're hearing it differently. It's that. Some of you are going to experience sensitivity to frequencies, different sounds, smells, touch, like sensory processing. Some of you may identify as neuroatypical, neurodivergent. You're going to feel something different. It's, again, like an upgrade. I don't even know what the computer feels like when it goes through an upgrade, but imagine you go through an upgrade and all of a sudden you're like, oh, I don't like lace. It feels itchy. I'm going to start wearing soft cotton shirts and sweatpants because it feels soft and good. Or I don't like tags anymore, or I don't like the smell. It's too strong, or taste. There's something about that happening here. And it's not just on the material plane where you're like, oh, where are these things popping up from? It has to do too with your psychic gifts. So some of you are going to be expanding in gifts that you may not already have. So in other words, you may start tasting things and smelling things. So clairgustance, clairalience. You may start opening up to other forms of clairs, perhaps clairaudience, like hearing, clear hearing, I should say. So there's a sense here where you're going to start connecting these two things. I'm hearing like something about water and chocolate. This is a reference to a book. Like water for chocolate. I'm going to write it down, you guys, so I don't forget for you guys. Something about that. Interesting. We have a bunch of water. Do you remember I mentioned the Pisces earlier? You have a bunch of water here. So water is going to be particularly cleansing for you. Some of you may have dominant water placements in your chart, but also you're being asked to connect to that water energy. Because it's precisely through the expression of those emotions. It's going to open your heart. It's going to elevate the level of attunement, the level of connection. You know, sometimes when you have something in your eye and it's causing blurriness and you're like, oh, I can't see, and all of a sudden tears come out and your eyes become like crystal clear. Kind of like when you put eye drops. It's like that. You feeling your emotions and getting in touch with them and marinating. Think of it like a chicken leg. You just sit with them. You don't have to do anything with them. It's going to open up a lot of these extrasensory gifts that you have. It's going to make you more attuned and fine-tuned to what you're perceiving, not just in this material world, but in the other. So you guys are creating a bridge. Spirit is creating a bridge. Hold on, I'm going to read the booklet for you. I didn't even read for Taurus, but I'm going to read for you. I feel called to read for you guys. Okay, be the bridge. Ooh, there we go. It may feel that no one understands you or what you've gone through, but remember the higher self in everyone you interact with is rooting for your awakening. But will you stay awake or be lulled into sleepiness? You can't unsee the glory that you've seen. You can't unfeel the radiance you felt. You can't unlearn the higher truths now encoded within your soul. Though you may feel like a stranger in a strange land, it is up to you to stay alert and turn awakened moments into minutes, hours, days, and a way of life. This is how you become a bridge from the special world to the ordinary world, so that as many people as want to can cross over. So dreams of a bridge symbolize a no part of yourself gets left behind policy. This looks like a dream interpretation snippet. A bridge reflects your desire or attempt to keep a connection, whether it is between relationships, phases of your life, aspects of yourself, or what you've learned about how to bring wisdom down to earth. You are moving forward in your life, connecting the dots between who you were, who you are now, and who you are becoming. I swear to God, I said something similar. This is your mantra. All that I've learned from a bridge from earth to heaven and back again. Oh, excuse me, let me restate that because I said that wrong. Your mantra. All that I've learned forms a bridge from earth to heaven and back again. Wow. Holy smokes. I feel like by the end of this equinox, you all are recognizing your true divine essence, who you truly are. It's almost like unmasking yourself. I'm seeing like a naked baby. So it's bearing your authentic soul. It's coming back to yourself. Similar message for Taurus, but in a different way. Be open. You guys are going to receive a shit ton of communication. I swear, the universe does not play around with Mercury ruled signs, or like, nope, we're just going to communicate this way because this is how they receive it. Let's get a message from Archangel Michael. I have the Sword of Light Oracle. What message does Archangel Michael have for my Virgos? There we go. We have 29. Stay the course. Don't panic. You're not on the wrong path. You're just having a bumpy start. Learn from your experiences and keep going. Kind of looks like He-Man. You know, the cartoon He-Man and She-Ra? This kind of looks like He-Man. Some of you may connect to He-Man or She-Ra, or those 80s shows. I'm feeling that. Look at this, and you've got birds here and light. Do you see this? Light? You got a shitload of birds here in your reading as well. So communication is key. So what's important here is to be open to what you're receiving spiritually, also through people, through animals, and pay attention to the next 3 lunar cycles. I'm like going brain fog here. So that'll be September 29th, October 14th, and and October 28th. Crap, I hope I have not been saying September 28th too. September 29th, October 14th, October 28th. Stay the course. You can get a final advice card. What does the universe have for my Virgos, please, in terms of advice? Thank you. Got the wheel. Shit's changing. Look at this. This is a transformation. Where is it? This is the complete transformation that's happening. Do you see her arms? Their arms are out. You are about to receive, you all. As you process, again, these belief systems and you finally let them go, which is going to happen. But again, this could be, let me show you. These were the first 2 cards. This could be the blockage that many of you feel and hear, feeling like you're on the wrong path. Stay with it. Don't force anything. Allow things to unravel. I would actually suggest journaling, particularly since there's a focus here on communication and emotions. When you're feeling something come up, journal it and ask yourself, what am I feeling? What is coming up for me? What is this bringing up? And if it's something that's connected to a recent event or something that happened, write that down too. And you can just keep asking yourself why questions, and you just sit with it, and you will get intuitive messages, and you will get just knowings about this. And sometimes if at that moment you're like, there's nothing else that's coming, it's okay. You can set it down and continue. You will get more messages later on. You're going through a massive change, a massive shift, a massive upgrade. I feel like major, and this isn't new, just specific for you right now in this time period that we're at, karmic lessons are wrapping up very quickly. That's why we've seen a lot of endings in relationships, with people leaving jobs. It's almost like people are saying, whoa, this is not where I want to be for the next cycle. I'm leaving. We've seen this shift happening, and there's something shifting for you as well internally, which is going to be reflected externally. This signifies the fixed signs: Scorpio, Taurus, Leo, Aquarius. And with the wheel, things are shifting in your favor. This is a beautiful sign of blessings. This to me is almost like an abundance oracle, gateway to triumph. You all are headed in such a beautiful direction. There's a sense of faith, of releasing control, redirecting your energy. over the next 3 months, pay attention to energy drainers and energy bringers, I'll call them. Simple. There's so many folks have done these exercises where you split the paper into 2 and you basically tally. You can do it daily or weekly. What brings me energy, what brings me joy, what makes me feel good versus what drains my energy, what doesn't feel good. You're going to quickly notice some things that you're over investing or putting in too much time and effort and you're not getting anything back. So again, this all results from your mindset. Huge shifts for you, my Virgos. I hope this reading has helped. I'm wishing you a beautiful fall and I will see you soon. Take care. Hey my Libras, welcome to your fall equinox. Next 3 months reading for October, November, December. I'm happy to have you here. We are going to get started. I feel like I'm going in slow-mo. We are going to start with tarot and then several oracles to see what is in store for you. What does the universe want my Libras to know for the next 3 months, please? What messages does the universe have for my Libras over the next 3 months, please? Thank you. I thought one flipped. That's it? We got 2 cards? Hold on. I thought one flipped. Nope. We got Queen of Swords, 7 of Swords. Whoa. You're letting go. It's interesting how these energies tie into all the air readings too, for Gemini and Aquarius. I'm going to pull more cards, but from these, there is just a major glow up energy. And I know for Libras, there is an eclipse happening in the sign of Libra. It's a new moon, solar eclipse on October 14. And obviously the lunar nodes are transiting. Aries North Node, Libra South Node. So this is a pivotal year of transformation, massive transformation and shifts, especially if you're Libra Sun, rising, and Moon as well. You're going to feel this. I feel like there is an energy of moving ahead. This season, you're going to be focused on yourself. And with this energy, 7 of Swords, I get you're cutting out the shit. It's not just cutting out shit. You're cutting out the shit. So whatever the shit needs to you in your life, whether it's bad habits, relationships, goals that no longer align to you, belief systems, anything where you're like, nope, not anymore. I feel like you're literally looking away from it. Look at that. She has her back turned to this stuff. You've seen the light, you've gone to the light, and you're like, it's like I'm living for myself. It doesn't mean that if you're in partnerships or family or any of that, that you're gonna be like, see ya. It simply means you are taking ownership of yourself. You are reclaiming your power. You're taking your power back from the shit, whatever it means. I feel like it's a total glow up. All levels, spiritual, emotional, mental, physical. There's a whole focus on you and identity. There's a releasing of a layer here. You see the sword? It's kind of like when you drive, sometimes you have your hand on the, what's it called? Oh my gosh, clutch? No. What's that called where you change gears? That stick. It's similar here. You're riding your own little boat here, but you are captain of your ship, in other words, and you have your hand on the sword. Look closely. And I feel like your boundaries have gone way up as a form of self-protection, but also self-love, because there's a point here of reckoning where you're like, I know my value now. I'm not putting up with this shit anymore. And you will, I feel throughout the season, anytime, and you guys, this is metaphorical, literal. I'm literally not telling you if you have a sword to use it. This is metaphorical. It's all about boundaries. You are keeping it close to you, and I feel like you will have, and you're having no problem speaking your truth. There is just a shit ton of energy right now that is really reinforcing this and also helping Libras to up level in such a powerful way, unlike years before. Because the last time we've had these energies, close energies, because there's been some different planetary transits, of course, was back in 2004, 2005. I just feel you're focused on the future. I feel like there's a severing of the past, whatever it means to you. You're letting go of who you were, an old version of yourself, and you're charging forward. There's a sense of confidence here. I feel like this is dimming away. Totally different. At the bottom of the deck, I'm going to show you, we have Judgment and the Magician. Major releasing happening, major spiritual growth, ascension. Look at this, the Sun. You guys are working towards what truly brings you happiness this season. What other messages does the universe have for my Libras? What else do they need to know? You're finally heading towards and finding your equilibrium. I feel like if it interferes with your peace, when I say it, I'm talking about anything. If it interferes with your peace, you're like, nope. Using the sword, boundary in other words. Total leveling up, and I feel like at times you may feel isolated. You may be feeling, because this is such a transformative inner process and it starts reflecting pretty quickly in the outside, you're like, wait, where did these folks go? They scattered like cockroaches. What happened to my relationship? Because I know with Venus retrograde in Leo that recently ended and Venus went direct, it impacted a lot of Libras, especially in Tauruses. Those are the Venusian energy. And also Leo, since it was transiting in the sign of Leo. But there are a lot of relationship shakeups, all types. So I'm just sensing here where you're looking ahead. And it may be uncomfortable during this in-between stage as you're shifting and transforming and changing. The best way I can explain this to you is, that's easy to understand, is when you're moving. And for those of you that have experienced like pregnancy, your body changes. Although it doesn't happen all in 1 week, over time, you start realizing, oh, my regular pants don't fit me. I'm going to need maternity jeans. And with moving, you're like, okay, we're a week out into the move. I can't really use my stuff because it's packed. What do I do? It's like that in-between stage where it's a little bit unsettling, discomforting. You're leaving behind things, you're ending things. You know things are going to be going, ending. You know you're shifting. And the way that you are and who you're bringing yourself, or how you're bringing yourself into the world, is different. You're showing up differently because you're feeling that in terms of how people are responding to you and how you're seeing the world. So just note that in this in-between time, sometimes it can feel like we're being stretched and you can feel a little bit uncomfortable. Okay. Your cards, you got King of Pentacles. I've got 3 more cards there. King of Pentacles, Taurus energy, the Tower. Interesting, Aquarius got both 7 of Swords and the Tower card, and 2 of Cups. Major epiphanies happening. Bottom of the deck, 5 of Swords. Yep. There's an ending here for you in terms of who you were. You're just not putting up with shit anymore. I can sum that up completely. You're not putting up with toxic behaviors, toxic energies, vampires, one-sided relationships, situations, jobs that don't align to your values, anything that does not align to where you want to go. You're like, nope, not anymore. You're heading, we'll just say, without any, reference to the real geography, you're heading north, to your true north. You're definitely wanting to stabilize your foundation. There's a great focus here on creating prosperity, wealth, and stability in all aspects of your life. It doesn't just mean money. Because here, there's a sense of peace and calm, and that's where I feel you're heading. And that's what you're leaving behind, is the shit. Anything that's caused you any disillusion, deception, hurt, pain, you're like, nope, gone. And you're heading towards a period that's going to be extremely, I think it's going to be new for many of you, because this is something you may not have experienced, or if you have, it wasn't long lasting. And we have a Tower card here. So there are going to be shifts and changes happening in your foundation, in your stability. And I feel like it has a lot to do with how you present yourself, who you are, your identity, because the foundation of your identity is huge. Because when we shift who we are, think of who you were when you were 15, 18, 20, 30, 45, 60, 75, 80, 90. You're different. You evolve, you change. And it's the same way here. There's going to be a complete transformation. With the Tower, this is something that's being completely destroyed. So there's a sense of destruction here with your stability. Some of you are going or will be undergoing changes in your career and jobs. You may be shifting towards opportunities that are more at the level that you are. Excuse me, I'm saying that wrong. You will be shifting to careers and jobs that compensate you at the level that you've reached in your life, and also for the value that you hold for yourself. So many of you are also recognizing your value, and you're like, wait a minute, I'm at this job and I'm not getting compensated fairly. So either speak up and ask for a promotion or a raise, or you're moving on. This is the energy right now with the Queen of Swords. This is a determined, persistent, not taking bullshit energy. It's when you finally realize, I'm done. This is like it. And that's what I'm feeling here. So some of you are going to experience changes in your financial sector. And no joke aside, you know, all of that, I'm a Libra sun rising with a crap load of planets in Libra. And the nodal points for the last nearly 2 years, year and a half, we're hitting our 2nd and 8th houses. And so we have the last final eclipse in Taurus hitting the 8th house. And so this is shared resources and such on October 28th. So there could be changes in your income, in your finances, in your career, but I feel like it's for the better because it's propelling you to reach for more, to reach for higher, to actually say, wait a minute, this is where my value lies and what I'm worth and what I know I'm good at. I deserve more. So I'm getting, like I mentioned earlier, like a glow up, an up leveling in your life in all areas. Because when you recognize your worth, it changes everything. You're not going to put up with shit. You're not going to put up with people in the way that you used to before. And these are all lessons we learned. There's absolutely no judgment because I've been through it too. And look at this with the Two of Cups. To me, this is total harmony. Total happiness, joy, love, self-love, commitment. For those of you that are not in partnerships, I feel like when you go through this transition, you are going to be meeting a lot of kindred spirits, a lot of very reciprocal, harmonious, beautiful, balanced relationships, which I know for many Libras that I've heard, both, especially those with Libra rising, sun, or moon. Relationships have been key for the last 15 or so years, especially with Pluto in Capricorn. Some of you are going to meet romantic partners if you're not in a romantic partnership and that's what you want. Others, you're on a self-love journey, and this transformation that you're going through, you're going to come out of it and you're going to be like, damn, I'm the shit. Like, you're going to realize, look at yourself in the mirror and realize how much you've been through, how much you've grown over these months, and also for some years, and how amazing you truly are. There's a point of reckoning where you just look at yourself in the mirror and you're like, you know what? I'm the bomb. I'm amazing. I'm super cool. I love myself. So this is, again, because this is such a very expansive, wide reading that I'm connecting to a lot of energies, it's going to mean a lot of different things. For those of you that are in relationships and that are taking that container, that relationship, committed relationship you're in, or partnership to another level, I feel there's a strengthening, like a renewal. You know when people renew their vows if they're married? It's that energy. Some of you are going to deepen your relationship after going through this transformative, deepening process. And also, like, there's a shakeup happening in the foundation. And when people hear that, they think it has to be huge, like an earthquake type of change. It can simply mean you saying, you know what, I'm leaving this job, or actually I'm going to apply to jobs that I know are better for me, or I'm going to change my careers, or I'm going back to school, or I'm going to volunteer, or I'm going back in the workforce, or maybe I'm exiting, whatever it is. Everyone's in so many different chapters of their lives, from going to school, working, retiring, whatever it is. I feel like if it's not going to be in a more material sense, like changing jobs or situations or environments or even moving homes, because I do see that here, it's all internal, because Pentacles speak to your values, to what brings you pleasure, to your joys, what matters to you, also your tangible goals. So there's a huge shifts coming, a lot of different elements here. You're not taking crap from people. This is an extremely profound inner transformation, which I feel is going to reverberate for a long time, because it's setting you up on a course. Because this shakeup is setting you up on a course, like a redirection, where you are upgrading yourself. It's like peeling off a layer. You're shedding your old you, and you're heading into a brand new cycle. What other messages? We have narrow pathway, tread thoughtfully. I feel like many Libras, and Libras always get a bad reputation. People are like, you guys are indecisive. I feel like it's because there's options. You want to take into account what each option entails before making a final decision. And sometimes it takes us a little longer. I don't see it as a bad thing. And that's where I feel like this is actually coming into play in a positive way. This is a huge strength. As you continue navigating your journey, especially after any changes that you experience with career, with income, and your foundation, maybe with moving, with your home life situation, because I know we have some squares with Pluto that are going to be affecting the 4th house for Libra risings. If your ascendant or rising is in Libra, you may experience some shifts happening here, but it could be internal too. So there's an element here of proceeding carefully with thought. Don't make quick or hasty moves or decisions. So that's where the strength of taking into account decisions comes into play for Libra during this season. It's almost an energy of slow and steady wins the race. There's going to be 2 opportunities here that are coming to you, and because you've never experienced them, you may feel a little bit of apprehension, anxiety of the unknown, some fear come up. So there's a need here to go slowly, not overwhelm yourself, not think, okay, I'm doing a complete 180-degree lifestyle change in 1 week. Because if you do that, and I'm giving you a very broad, general, maybe superficial example, but getting a new car, changing your look, starting a new job, leaving your relationship, moving all of it in 1 week, it's extremely overwhelming. So there's a thought that needs to be considered here, and always tapping into yourself along the way, like check marks. Does this feel good? Is this supporting my goals? Does this feel like I'm headed in the right direction? Because when you feel it, when you feel like something is good for you, you'll know it in your body. What other messages? Oh, I thought it fell. What other messages does the universe have for my Libras, please, for the next 3 months? Didn't come up. What other messages does the universe have for my Libras, please, for the next 3 months? It's time to turn on the light. Truth. Aquarius got this too. Interesting. That's something I'll say Libras in general, because as a sign of, as an air sign and one that really values communication and also connection, truth is something that's really important. Some of you may be asking, what is my truth? What is my true path? Where am I headed? Because there's a sense of wonderment, also curiosity, and also what's next for me? And when you just feel like how you used to be, like the old you, no longer exists. You know you're different. You know you're seeing things. You're not putting up with things in the same way. You want more of your life. There's an element here of digging deep. This is profound. Whenever I see the Tower card, to me, I would say similar to the Death card, but the Tower card tends to happen more externally, I feel. where you may have things out of your control, like say you get laid off, like that type of event, which may not happen, but it also is motivating within too. And so I feel like a lot of what's happening this season, you're seeing the truth of everything. No more illusions. Seven of Swords, no more illusions. Like I said in the beginning, interesting, a little bit, if you have heavy Aquarius energy, you may benefit from seeing the reading because there was a focus on relationships, completely relationships for Aquarius. But for you, I feel like many of you have already dropped the rose-colored glasses weeks ago, maybe months, and you're just finally coming to truth on how everything is in your life, with every facet of your life. This is big because I'm getting a wheel, like 360 degrees, all areas of your life, all slices of the pie. And there's no denying it anymore. You're seeing things for how they really are. And some of you, it's a wake-up call. You're like, I do not want my life to go this way. This is not making me happy. I need to leave this relationship or this job. I want to do something different with my life. You are ready to shift. What other messages does the universe have for my Libras, please? What do they need to know for the next 3 months? These are slippery and they don't want to... We'll do it one more time. If not, I'll pick, okay? As I said that, it popped. You have Harvest Witch, 21. What sacrifices have you made for the greater vision of what is to be? Look at this. I'll show you the message. We have a lot of birds. Some of you are connecting to crows, ravens, birds. I feel they're harbingers of good things to come, but also messages for you. I feel like this speaks to, because with being sacrificial, this could be potentially one of the lower octave energies or shadows of Libra is overgiving, because something Libra seek is always keeping the balance or the scale balanced, a sort of equilibrium within and without. And it's like a quest for an ideal platonic sense of balance, of beauty, of living. And sometimes it may be an everlasting quest where we're always on this search for perpetuity, right? So there's a sense near to also reflect and ask yourself, where have I overgiven or sacrificed my own needs, my own wants, especially in relation to others, and also in your life in general. I see fox here and birds. I want to read from the booklet for this for you guys. Okay. We have, I hope you can see this. There we go. Your higher self chose this card because there's no guarantee a crop will yield results or that the results will be worth the effort. Sometimes things don't work out despite your blood, sweat, and tears, and there comes a time when you have to be honest about how much longer you can invest in a dying crop. You may need to consider whether or not you have actually given all you have to give. Perhaps you've taken shortcuts here and there, used cheap materials to save money, or given a half-hearted effort. This card represents the moment when you weigh your efforts versus your rewards. Harvest Witch is here to evaluate your progress. She asks you whether you're doing enough to bring your goals to life, or are you playing it safe and small and approaching your dreams with a naive perspective. She reminds you that you get out what you're willing to put in. If you've been cutting corners or procrastinating, Harvest Witch advises you to take a more grounded and practical approach. How can you be better prepared to handle your circumstances? Are you truly invested in seeing your goals come to life? Or is this something that would be nice to have, but that's nothing you're passionate about? If you've been putting in a great deal of effort with very little results, perhaps it's time to shift your tactics and try something different. You may need to find a fresh way to go about achieving your goals, or it may be time to cut your losses altogether and find a new dream to explore. When a crop is diseased or tainted, it may be in your long-term interest to destroy what's dying so that the rest can have a fighting chance. There will be even moments when the entire crop needs to be destroyed and you'll have to start again. Be honest with yourself, listen to your heart, and move forward with a choice that will support you best in the future. Remember the Truth card? So this speaks of goals. Have you really been putting in the energy, the work, the time to accomplish whatever your goals are? Or are there things as you're reflecting now where you're like, you know what, if I'm being honest with myself, this is a time for reassessment. But I also feel with this card, it's also speaking to where have you invested your energy and time, point blank or first. Because I feel like for many Libras that I'm speaking here, you've invested in helping other people achieve their dreams and supporting them, almost like you're the supporting role in your own movie instead of being the main character. That's the energy I'm getting. So for those that I'm getting, this is a time to acknowledge, okay, yes, I gave way too much of my time and energy to this, and this, and this is what happened. Maybe you neglected your own needs for others. Maybe you came rushing at the beck and call of folks who called you, always needed your help. Maybe you neglected your own personal goals, and there's many. It's gonna be personal for everyone, because you were helping someone else or taking on too much responsibility at work, whatever it was. There's a balancing here that's happening between we and me, or I. Making sure that in your relationships, in your life, that you don't overgive, that you also maintain and safeguard your own energy for your own goals, to accomplish your dreams and what it is that you want. So during the next 3 months, you may get really highlighted moments or epiphanies or nuggets where you're like, ooh, and find yourself almost responding to situations in a way where it takes your energy. Maybe someone constantly calls you and you answer. And so you spend, 30 minutes, an hour helping someone else, but then you're like, crap, now I have to help myself. How do I finish this? So there's an element here of being truthful to ourselves as well. Season of truth. What else do my Libras need to know, please, for the next 3 months? What is coming? Thank you. We have Moon Madness, avoid drama. Just like what I said before, I won't repeat it. Make sure you don't entangle yourself. Be cautious about preserving your own energy, and it's going to be key for Libras, especially if you have a nodal return. Maybe your South Node is in, it could be in Aries or Libra, right? If you are a Libra Sun, Rising, Moon, if you have a lot of planets in Libra, the next year and a half, it could be especially draining or tiring. So there's extra need, or let me rephrase that. There's a need for extra attention to yourself, taking care of yourself, making sure you don't overextend yourself or overcommit. In other words, don't allow your energy to just drain. One way to safeguard this is to avoid drama, avoid being sucked into the black hole of other people's shit. It's really, really easy when people are experiencing problems, and a lot of Libras, because they really value connection and communication with others, they are amazing listeners. And so if you are the person, maybe the friend in the group that always listens to everyone's problems, and then you're like, crap, I'm drained, it's time to rethink how you operate. And again, in the beginning of the reading, I got a no holds, no bars, bar type of energy where you're like, I'm just done. So I feel like a lot of you have been feeling this, particularly after we completed the Venus retrograde in Leo. That really highlighted a lot of, we'll just say, changes that needed to be made, because that hit the 11th house for Libras, of networks, communities, larger circles of friendships too. And this is one way that you are going to be able to take back some of that time for yourself. This is a lot. This reading for the next 3 months, it's really speaking about honoring your boundaries, not violating them, and also energy management. But I'm feeling many of you are realizing and have realized that. Now it's practicing that for these 3 months or over this season. What other messages does the universe have, please, for my Libras? What else do my Libras need to know, please? Okay. We have make the grade with flying colors. Remember, you signed up for this. 32. This is about going after what you want. If you need to make a change during the next season, and you guys, this is a reading, so really tap into your own intuitive knowing, because this could extend before or after. If any changes need to be made, change them. If you no longer want to pursue a goal, don't pursue it, but make sure that you are following what it is that you want to go after, and don't be afraid. Retract. There's a need to retract your energy here. Some of you may benefit from doing cord cuttings, from cleaning up your environment, from cleaning up who you share your time and energy with, because we absorb other people's energy and it affects everyone. Okay, I want to say something because I keep getting black hole. I keep getting that. I keep seeing that. Be careful of getting sucked in again. It's not just drama, of getting sucked down into the rabbit hole of procrastination, of self-sabotage, because of discomfort, because of fear, and also because other people may come to you with their problems, with their issues. Because sometimes people are like, oh, I need help with this, and it continues into a long, we'll just say a long line of other things, and it extends. In other words, it takes more of you than what you imagined it would, or what you initially thought it would. Sometimes simply starting or going after what you want means just starting. Like, don't even think about research. And this is speaking to me too, because I'm one of those people where I'm like, okay, we're going to research for the next 30 days. Sometimes it simply means starting. Just start. That's it. Or a time frame. Okay, I'm going to research and just find 2 articles, or research for 5 minutes, and then, or I'm going to call someone for help, and then I'm starting. That's it. There's something up here about getting started and not going down the rabbit hole. The next 3 months, there's going to be a period where you're going to feel isolated. I briefly mentioned that. It's not just the in-between changes that are happening, but it's also the clearing away of energy so that there's space and time for you to work on you, to work on your goals. What other, okay, thank you. This is from the Sword of Light Oracle from Archangel Michael. We have number 7, change is coming. I am here to guide you through this exciting transformation. This is a time of joyous opportunities. We got butterflies. Some of you may be seeing butterflies or blue. And we got butterflies here with the Tower card. Again, I feel this energy, or I've been feeling it for quite a few months, but it's becoming more pronounced the closer we get to eclipse energy. And again, any of you with Libras and major placements, especially with this first eclipse in Libra, the new moon, 21 degrees, it's happening in the sign of Libra, you will be feeling this. So if you can remember back into 2004, 2005, what happened, you'll realize similar themes that may potentially arise, but it'll be different circumstances. And so again, this is something that was noted earlier in the reading. A lot of changes are happening and coming. You may be seeing animals. Is that a dragonfly? No, they're butterflies. You may be seeing a lot of animals. Call in your own spiritual team. Archangel Michael is wonderful for navigation. You can ask for signs at any time and confirmation to let you confirm and also self-validate that you're on the right path. Because sometimes when we're walking and it feels like we're just walking through almost like a black hole. It feels like we don't know where we're going. I just feel like you're shedding so much. Libras are shedding literally a layer of who they were, who they used to be, but who they no longer are. So you're emerging. It's a butterfly emerging from its own butterfly cocoon, if that makes sense. It's a very brand new, very empowering energy, and it's completely shifting your own vibration. What advice does the universe have for my Libras, please? What advice does the universe have for my Libras, please? Did it switch? No, I thought it flipped, excuse me. What advice does the universe have for my Libras? Okay, we got one. Bottom of the deck. What is this? Queen of Cups, Ace of Swords. It speaks of taking care of yourself, but also tapping into your intuition. Strength card, 8. Aquarius got a card that said strength too. Some of the Libras that I'm tapping into also have very prominent placements or strong energies in Aquarius. In any placement, it doesn't have to be sun, moon, rising either. Strength. Your advice. I feel like this speaks to inner fortitude, inner strength. It could be physical strength too. And obviously making sure you feel strong. But I feel like this speaks to inner strength and empowerment, tapping into your heart. Having courage, because there's going to be a lot of changes happening for you. And I feel like, I feel this way too when people are like, yeah, you're going through changes. I'm like, we always go through changes. We go through changes every day, every week. But these are profound that are setting you up for the next cycle of your life. I would say for the next decade plus. It's shifting you in a trajectory where you're operating in a completely different way. You're letting go. This is a major identity shift, a major way of being. It's almost like, imagine the best version of yourself, and then you step into it. Imagine if there was a machine, almost like a vending machine where you get to choose your options, and you're like, yes, the best version of me. She wakes up early, she is consistent, she is doing XYZ, and you go down the list, and then you step into it and poof, you're transformed. This is the type of glow up that I'm talking about. It's profound. It's not just, yeah, you're gonna change your hair color or you're gonna wear a new type of shirt or outfit or style. It's a profound inside out change. In the same way, you know, when your socks are inside out, you feel the what is it, the threads, the lining, the border, what is it called? I forgot what it's called, but you feel it and it feels weird. And then you flip it inside out and you're like, oh, this is how a sock should feel. It's like that. So tap into your inner fortitude. Know that whatever that you are about to start and do, and you feel that fear, it just means that it's something you've never done before. And everyone always feels fear with everything. It's actually normal. And it's important just to acknowledge it. And I got this from Mel Robbins in one of her shorts. She's the author and the podcaster. And she said, turn that fear into excitement, because you feel it in the same way. You know, when you feel nervous when you're about to make a presentation or do something that scares you, we have similar feelings of excitement when you're about to do something fun. Say you used to like going on roller coasters and you feel that anticipation and then it goes down. Turn that fear into excitement and reframe it. And it's such a different way of seeing things. It changes your vibration pretty quickly when you're like, wow, I'm about to walk out of this job, for example, you can say, and I feel scared, or I'm about to tell my boss that I'm resigning and I feel scared. And then flip it, you know what, I'm excited because I know that I'm aligning myself to better opportunities, to opportunities that are more purposeful and heart aligned, and more importantly, things that I want to do and that matter for me and that value me. Again, everyone is getting indications of hearts. This is a profound change to your heart chakra, healing, realignment. You see the infinity symbol too? Profound changes. I can't underestimate that, overestimate it. I can't emphasize this enough. This is a complete transformation within, which is going to appear without. It's time to get real, my Libras. I am wishing you the best for this season. I'm so excited. I'm with you on this ride because I'm going through it too. Thank you so much for being here. I hope this helped. I'll see you soon. Welcome, my Capricorns, to your fall equinox next 3 months reading. We are going to look at what is coming for you and some advice from the universe for October, November, December. So grab yourself a drink, get comfy, and let's get started. What messages does the universe have for my Capricorns, please, for the next 3 months? What do they need to know? Whoa, you guys had flippers. Virgo, I had to shuffle quite a few times. Okay. We got 8 of Pentacles, Ace of Wands in reverse, Page of Pentacles. I'm gonna have to pull the others because I don't have enough hands. King of Wands in reverse and 9 of Pentacles. Came out this way. Okay, so immediately we have 8 of Pentacles and Ace of Wands. Ooh. I feel like there's creative expressions waiting to be birthed, but they're being the gestation period, incubation period, if you will. They're still cooking. This is weird energy. It's almost like you're repressing them. So some of you have either experienced literally some type of, you know, when you turn off a flame, you extinguish it. That's the energy I'm getting here. It's like you may unintentionally be turning off that creative faucet, that creative stream that you have, because there's a lot lining up. I feel like you're being pulled towards creating, but there's almost like a dimming effect here where you're like, wait, no, not yet. It's almost like you don't want to take action on what is coming out, because I feel like you have a lot of ideas that will be coming forth. Again, everyone's timelines are different, but you have so much coming out. You may be taking like notes or writing these ideas down, but there's no action at this time. So there's something here that's happening here with action. We'll revisit these. I'm going to move on to the next cards. We've got Page of Pentacles and 9 of Pentacles. You got a shitload of Pentacles. You guys are focused on your stabilities, on your coins, on your finances, on your security. And we see a slow and steady, I wanted to say burner. So I feel like this time around, which again comports to the general Capricorn energy, but again, it's going to depend on your personal placements in your natal chart, and also to how you're feeling and what's going on in your life with transits, etc. But I'm not feeling this impetuous desire to be like, oh, I got an idea, let's take action. I feel like there's thought happening here. Some of you may be taking deliberate thought and care with what ideas you're going to put out into the world. Some of you are working behind the scenes. Some of you are filing and organizing what it is you want to do, because I'm sensing a multi-talented, multi-passionate, multi-dimensional Capricorn here. So I'm speaking to more than one Capricorn, obviously. So there are a lot of things that you may be juggling internally, and you're like, oh, I want to do this, I want to do this. Maybe you want to redecorate your home or get a new pet or change your job, and there's so many things happening. But right now, what I'm sensing is over the next 3 months, there's an intentional, slow and steady build. Rebuilding, perhaps, of your foundation. Especially with this energy here. I feel like you're taking, almost like you're taking apart like a Lego, I don't know what they're called, Lego set, Lego kit, and you're putting it back together. But you want to put it back together with feeling, with intention, with emotion. There has to be a purpose where every block goes. And that's what I'm sensing here. It's almost like you're picking the big fish out of the water. So maybe your top priority, your most important idea or goal, and you're going forward with it. And I feel like you want to see the fruits of that, almost like testing it before you continue on, before you expose or share any of your other creative efforts. I'm getting a strategy here with you guys over the next several months and through this season, this fall season. And again, wherever you are in the world, it could be spring for you. You don't want to divulge all your ducks. In other words, you don't want to divulge all your secrets, all your ideas out. And I feel like by putting them out one by one, you're able to build and grow, test, get feedback, build and continue on. So this could be for some of you. I feel like for some of you, this is going to be, because I'm getting two sectors here, two types of Capricorn energy that I'm tapping into. Those that are freelance, work for themselves, entrepreneurs, creatives. Not that you can't be creative if you don't work in these areas, but that have more of a flexibility in their schedules and that are building their own, it could be project, side hustle, or business. And then we have those that are wanting to build as part of another entity. So maybe work for an organization, corporation, whatever it is, but you're working for someone else. There's a strong sense of moving slowly, and you will know if it's right or if it's time to move away from that particular pursuit. There's no rushing here. Some of you are definitely feeling the rush, but I feel like you are staying true and will be staying true to wanting to feel grounded. Many of you are feeling the energy of instability in your life. Perhaps this is why we have this in reverse, because in the beginning I felt it shut off, where you don't want to pursue too much or take on too much. There's a sense here of balance, literally, of not overcommitting yourself, of not burning out. There's a sense of being able to, okay, we're going to get all of this out, but we're going to tackle it one at a time. So there's steady growth. So there's meaning and purpose into what we're doing. And so we see the fruits of our labor, of what's happening. And then we have the King of Wands in reverse. So again, I don't feel like you want to necessarily project this out, like, you know, with the loudspeaker or announce this to people. I feel a subdued energy. You guys are natural leaders as the initiators of the season of winter, and as cardinal signs too. You initiate seasons, you start something new, a new challenge, a new endeavor. But I'm not feeling like you're wanting to demonstrate this out loud. In other words, you don't want to, I'm getting working in silence vibes. So you're wanting to work and have your efforts show the results. You want your results to show, your work to show through your results. Silence is golden, I keep hearing. What is it with these songs? Okay, there's a song by the Tremlos. It's an oldies. Tremlos. Silence is golden. As soon as I said this, I started hearing the lyrics to that song. So there's a sense for you almost working diligently on all of your goals. These are, I feel like they're focused on stability. So for many of you, business, creative pursuits, business, excuse me, I repeated that. It could be related to your job, working on building better stability. And that's going to mean something very different to everyone. For some, you're looking at growth and promotion in your job. Others are going to be changing jobs. I get that right here. Some of you are making lateral moves and completely new moves in your career. But there's an overall focus on growth. That could be financial growth, seeing more money come in. That could be promotion. That can be soul growth, where you're like, I want to do something that's more meaningful. So not necessarily bring in more dollars as of yet. The more important thing for you may be more value aligned work. And others, you're focused on putting in work and energy into your own business projects, maybe entrepreneurship capabilities. But there's like a stealth here. Who does that? What animal does that? Fox? Cheetah? It's not in a bad way though. I'm sensing you're just working without actually announcing or telling anyone. And you're wanting your results to speak for themselves. It's almost like you negate the fire. I'm getting the energy, but I don't feel like you guys are vibing with it. There's a slow and steady intentionality. I'm going to clarify the King of Wands. Can we clarify the King of Wands, please? Thank you. We got two. We got the Seven of Fire, which is Seven of Wands, and then we got the Chariot, Cancerian energy. So again, to me, this is clarifying the King of Wands. To me, this speaks of putting in the effort, going forward with persistence and determination. But with the Seven of Wands, there's a resistance of having this be put out under the light, of having this be seen by others, of having others notice, or even telling others. You don't want your, in other words, you're not doing it in a flamboyant way. And it could be because in the past, you may have pursued goals that didn't come to fruition and you didn't like the feedback that you got, or the energy that you felt, or just feeling, or simply the feeling of letting yourself down. But I'm not getting this. Here I feel like a quiet, determined resolution, perseverance more than anything, persistence, where you're like, you know what? I'm not telling anyone the next 3 months. I'm going to do this glow up and my results will speak for themselves. It's a quiet. People may think that you're just taking time off, you're not doing anything. Meanwhile, you're working behind the scenes. This also, to me, speaks of reassessing everything that you have and finding balance in your life. Because some of you may, because of this fire energy that is almost feeling dimmed or turned off, some of you may have or may be balancing, undertaking way too much in your life. Because the Eight of Pentacles is working hard. And so you may actually feel a need to pull back and to rest more. To take, that's where we have some of the Pentacle energy too, which is more steadfast. It's slower. But it's almost like I prefer and appreciate the slow growth and methodical way that I'm doing things, instead of rushing through things or attacking things where, yes, I can finish this project in 15 hours, but instead of doing it in one day, you're like, I'm going to split it up over 4 weeks. That's the energy that I'm also feeling for some of you. There's an intentional need for rest and not burning the candle, the flame. I think that's the saying I heard. Okay, let's continue on and see what other messages the universe has for you. What else do my Capricorns need to know, please, for the next 3 months during this season? We have impasse. Reflect and redirect your energy. Virgo got this card. You see squirrels at this time. This is fall, but many of them start collecting nuts and hoarding them and preparing for the season, for the next season, winter. And there may be a feeling in this point, because impasse, it indicates like a feeling of stuckness, of something's happening here. And so with this energy again, I'm getting one of two messages. This is a opportunity for you to redirect the energy that may be leaking or going towards things that are not utilizing the best of your time or energy towards yourself, or towards goals that you want to be working on. Other than that, if you're expending energy and you're like, why isn't this really helping me? Why isn't this going where I want to? You're being called to reconsider here. Because sometimes when we constantly pour into something, it may not be aligned to where we're going. It may not be even helping us accomplish goals. And if we're pouring into a person, it may be more of like an energetic vampire type of situation, where someone may be draining you because of boundaries. You may have to tighten your boundaries. Whatever the situation, it's going to vary for everyone. This is calling for you to reassess where you're putting your time and energy toward. And if you're feeling any sort of, I've hit a wall, I'm not feeling like I'm making progress, I don't even know why I'm doing this, reconsider putting that energy back on yourself. Because that's how you're going to start to make steady progress. A lot of earth energy here. In addition, obviously you're an earth sign, but I'm getting heavy Taurus energy here. Okay, let's take a look and see what other messages the universe has. What else do my Capricorns need to know, please, for the next 3 months? Thank you. We have, is this a crow or a raven? Release. Look at this, release. So whatever is keeping you stuck, whether it's a mindset or, I keep getting for some of you, they're situations. So they're either goals where you somehow became involved or you undertook and you're like, I have no idea why I'm involved in this, or relationships. But for you, I'm getting more their goals. Almost like energy drainers or wasters, where you start doing things and you're like, why am I still attending this class if I'm not really even liking it? Or why do I have a membership to the gym if I don't go? It's things like that. Think about what in your life is causing you to not feel 100% lit up or excited, like those lights behind me where you're like, yes, I can't wait to do this. I can't wait to continue working on this, because that's where you're going to get a clue on what it is that you need to let go of. Because this is a season of letting go, and some of the things that are holding on to you perhaps are dimming this fire within you, this creativity. I feel like some of you have burnt out or are burning out. I know it's been a tough year for I would say tough several, what is it, the last 15 years for Capricorns, especially with Pluto and Capricorn. And wherever you have that transiting, you know, if you're a rising sun, whatever your placement is. Okay, let's see what other messages. What else do my Capricorns need to know, please, for the next 3 months? That's coming. Oh, we gotta go again. What do my Capricorns need to know, please, for the next 3 months? Oh, yes. One dropped. We got 31, Queen of the Dead. Fear not the rage of fire living within, for it is the power of your fierceness waiting to taste you fully. There's a snake here. Are some of you dimming your light because you don't want to be seen? There's something that I feel is tugging at you, at your energy, that's making you want to just, okay, I'm going behind the scenes, I'm retreating, I'm going to work in silence. Whether it's an interaction you had with someone, I'm sensing burnout, overdoing it, essentially spreading yourself thin by overcommitting yourself to things that you're like, I don't know why I'm doing this, or you may have forgotten, or you're putting in energy into the things that are not aligned with you, in other words. Because there's something here that wants to come out and be birthed, transformed. We see a lot of snakes. You see, she has snakes around her arms and up here. There's something that wants to transform. I feel like there's an inertia that's wanting to come out. But again, I keep feeling like a subduedness. This is something that you may be toying with, or maybe, what is that called? Like bouncing back and forth with throughout the season of wanting to establish or come out with some type of goal, project, announcement that you want to create or build on. Okay. I'm going to read from the book, So the key words here are embracing your dark side, naughtiness, using darkness for good. Your higher self chose this card because you need to learn to be unafraid of your soul's darker, naughtier side. There's a deep power within you that you may feel would be scary or too much to handle if you unleashed it. Perhaps you fear what you might become if you were seduced by the shadowy aspect of your spirit. Would you become too ambitious and power hungry or sacrifice your beliefs in pursuit of fame and fortune? Would you hurt people or forget your roots? Would you succumb to anger and find yourself difficult to get along with? These are all noteworthy fears, but they shouldn't prevent you from integrating both sides of your spiritual being. Queen of the Dead is tempting you to explore and use darkness for good. Rage, ambition, jealousy, and manipulation can be channeled for a good cause. Rather than viewing them as being bad, see them as opportunities for evolution and growth. These energies to be useful, and your willingness to work with rather than against your demons is key for showing them the way to the light. This is perhaps why this is in reverse. I feel like some of you have amazing things that are wanting to come out, but there's a sense of fear here, as this card is indicating. It's about reconciling shadow aspects, fears, and power, and how you navigate that, which seems so apropos to Capricorn energy. Power, especially since your ruling planet is Saturn. But there's been a lot of transformation around power, agency, how we express our deepest desires, how we go about obtaining them, and so much more. So the next 3 months in this season may have you reevaluating who you are in the presence of others, who you are in the professional work environment, hence all the pentacles, who you are and who you show up as in terms of being a leader, as a leader in your own life and also with others, and how you own your own creations, your own joys. If you've experienced folks that have tried to manipulate you or that have tried to usurp your light, diminish your power, or have tried in any way to almost like squash it, that may have prevented you from sharing, speaking, and owning that. Because I feel like there's a great deal of creative expression that's wanting to be birthed, but you're taking a very safe approach. So again, I feel like this is tied to energy cleanup, not just acknowledgement of the shadows within you, but I feel like this has to do with energy cleanup around you, of some people that are hanging on. What other messages does the universe have, please, for my Capricorns? Thank you. We have moon madness, avoid drama. You know, before when I was starting your reading, I kept seeing the Twilight Zone. So I'm not sure if some of you are into that show, because there's so many anomalies that come up with that show. I think it was from the 60s, right? So many things that you thought you saw them, but they were illusions, or they were things that didn't always make sense at first sight. And so here there's a need too. I'm not getting your energy here though with the drama, but I am, especially with this card, reflect and redirect, I am getting to avoid folks, groups, situations that do try to embroil you or bring you into drama, heavy energy, or that waste your time. Because again, I'm getting like a leakage of energy. There's something about your energy here where you may be feeling tired, restricted, like, wait, why am I not able to use this time, more importantly, my own energy, my own life force, to build and to create and to go after what I want? Because we see this, but the pace at which you're doing it is actually very grounded, with intentionality, with creating something firm. And I feel like there's a safety behind it. Perhaps folks that you have shared your own creations with, your own plans and your own goals, they may have projected, blamed, defected, or deflected, excuse me, or in some way misinterpreted and misconstrued and use that against you. So again, to me, drama that comes up, it could be around the workplace or coworkers or people around you, and also relationships, others outside of your life that also impact your professional life and your ambitions, your goals. Put that energy on you. Don't give any other people any extra time if they are wanting to drag you into something or use you as a sounding board. I was gonna say too with the squirrel, because the squirrel is a curious, adventurous animal, and they also denote a lot of creativity. What other messages does the universe want my Capricorns to know, please, for the next 3 months? I had one card that went on top of my hand. We have 45. This is from the Hero's Journey Oracle. Divine drunkenness. Surrender to your spiritual reverie. Look at this. There's a lot of red here. There's a complete focus on, again, like rootedness, feeling grounded, stability. Some of you are really focused on increasing your security and stability, and that could mean emotionally, that could mean in terms of your finances, and whatever makes you feel safe. A quick message from the book. You've said yes to becoming all you can be. Yes to becoming your best self. And yes to contributing to the world by remembering your dreams, sharing your gifts and talents. It seems the universe heard you and is responding in kind. Instead of panicking at the loss of who you thought you were, celebrate your gain. By releasing who you were, you have created space to explore the infinite possibilities of who you shall become. Your divine disorientation is due to the disappearance of the self you've come to know over all these years. Take heart knowing the sacred storm taking place within you is part of your apotheosis. I think it's apotheosis. You are experiencing elevation from where you've been to the human you were born to be. The rearranging of cells, molecules, atoms, electrons, and quantum material that holds you together is a wild party. Call it good and revel in divine oblivion. So I feel, again, there's a lot of expression, I feel like, that wants to come out, but many of you are focused on rooting yourselves. There's again an element of safety, of security, and when that happens, I feel like that's when the Capricorn creativity is going to be unleashed. Some of you, I think this is a common theme across a lot of the readings. There's a cleanup energy, of course. So when you have removed any situations, things, beliefs that have run its course, that are no longer present or pertinent to your life, you're going to feel that release of energy, almost like it's springing back forward to you. There's an element here of calling back your power as well, so you don't lose yourself. That's where the stability can come from, so you can stay grounded. Be careful of losing yourself in other people's shit. Perhaps this is why you got this. It's especially draining for you all. Why is your reading so much shorter than the others? It's like 10 minutes shorter. Let's continue on. I sense that with Capricorn energy, sometimes the readings are shorter. Okay, we got a message here from Archangel Michael from the Sword of the Light Oracle. We've got 2. Angels of healing are with you. A time of healing is about to bless your life. Accept Archangel Raphael's emerald green light while I enhance your strength. Some of you may be burned out or going through a period of having overworked, and you're taking time off and working slower with goals that really align to where you're going. Because I do see work is being put, but the energy has dialed down. There's a lot of energy cleanup, management, and release that's happening right now. And I feel like that is going to accelerate your healing too over the next 3 months. So for any of you that have felt like you were burned out, felt stuck, like you've been circling, take time out to, and I'm saying this broadly because I don't want, this isn't the time to go into all the details, the multidimensional details of self-care, but take time out to take care of yourself, whatever that looks like for you, to avoid getting intertwined with shit. In other words, don't be drawn into people's drama. If you do not have the emotional capacity or mental capacity to hold space for people, close that door. Who got this? Virgo did too. This is about putting all the energy onto you, because some of you are so worn out that you need to take care of yourself. You need to literally hunker down like the squirrel and put all of this energy towards you, making yourself feel good, releasing things, letting go of people, of habits. Some of you may be dealing with overcommitting, working too much, saying yes. So there's habits here that have to be reformed too, especially around boundaries. Okay. What advice does the universe have, please, for my Capricorns? Oh, we got a card. I kid you not. Look, you got 7 of Swords, air energy. Gemini, Aquarius, Libra. So 7 of Swords can indicate secretiveness, deception. I was gonna say plundering, thievery, trickery, that kind of thing, but immediately I heard cut the shit out. Do you see how this person has a knife and there's feathers like flying out? Things are being illuminated, and I feel like, look at this, we got these birds. Things are being illuminated for you, and I feel like you know, or you're getting indications, or you will be, about certain situations in your life, and that can include people or just jobs or anything that you are invested in or part of. You're being illuminated or will be illuminated about things that are just ready to be released. They're not for you. This is almost like a calling back your energy type of time. You know, if you feel scattered, burnt out, like the flame is shutting down, more than likely your energy is scattered. You are overcommitting. There may be an issue with boundaries, porous boundaries. Sometimes we violate our own boundaries too, in terms of overworking, overgiving. Sometimes you may be focused on things that you know you really don't want to focus on. You're like, nope, this is not what I want to do. I don't even want to continue going down this. So again, your advice from the universe is to cut the shit out, essentially. I'm summing it up here, but really take a look at your life and where you're not feeling 100% lit up, because that's what you're being guided to here. You have so many things that are waiting to come out, to be birthed, and they're almost, how do you say it? I want to say they're hatched, but they're not out. And so there's a time here, there's a focus here on energy cleanup. Once you clean that up, it's going to open up the avenues for you to continue going towards where you want. Because again, we got the King of Wands in reverse. Some of you may be having difficulty in a workplace or with some masculine figure that may be trying to dim your light, take away your light, causing some type of energetic imbalance. In other words, Could be undermining, maybe manipulation. But I feel like for you all are demonstrating such a determined and persistent energy to move forward regardless. You're just not sharing it with people. So make sure not to turn on your light, to drop the shit. You've got a lot of cards indicating here there's some type of energy violation. Some person has violated, has gotten into your bubble. And it could be because your boundaries have to be tightened, or because these folks have been around for quite a long time. Fear not the rage of fire living within, for it is the power of your fierceness waiting to taste you fully. It's about stepping into this role and reclaiming yourself so that you can be the leader in your own life. Some of you are going to be switching jobs. I got that 100%. And the environments that you were in, they may have led to, it may have been toxic, in other words. I won't get into all the scenarios. There may have been toxicity in the work environment. So some of you are going to be cutting, literally with the swords, cutting your losses, releasing. Some of you are preparing to start something new, to change your field. I feel like many of you are jumping ship. I keep hearing that. In other words, you're going to be creating your own endeavor. Whether it's pairing up with someone, creating your own business, going freelance, doing something that you are truly feeling pulled to do, because whatever has surrounded you has really drained you. And many of you don't even want to announce what you're doing, perhaps because of folks that are still in your radar, your vicinity, your bubble. You're like, I don't want this news to spread. Yeah, as soon as you let this go, you're gonna feel that energy almost like lift up from you so that you can propel forward. This could be the sense of safety that you're also wanting to obtain in the next 3 months, removing yourself from anything that's energetically negative or draining around you. My Capricorns, I hope this reading has helped. Comment down below if it has, and I will see you soon. Take care.